Hello! It's Sabotage the DM. We're back. Hi, I'm John Cooper. I haven't seen you guys in an incredibly long time. I'm sorry that I've been away. I've been watching from my couch because I got a streaming thing, and now I sit on my couch and I watch this channel all the time, and I do subscribe it because it's really good to subscribe to the channel and we'll move on. Guys, it's great to have you with us. We're going to be playing some D&D in a little bit, but first I should probably introduce you to this cast of lovely people that we have with us. Actually, I'm not sure what the order is, but we'll find out. Ferg, you're with us. Say hello.
Hiya, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Gabby, you're with us. My days, Gabby. Obviously, you're known by so many people on this channel. Liam, I think you are not a newcomer because you were on the Sabotage the DM for making a character that might be making an appearance shortly.
That is true, yeah.
We'll be coming back to that. Rowan, you were with us last time when we were playing together, and so great to have you with us again this time. So hey, good to see you. And Scott, wonderful to have you with us. This is
Hi.
Danger Club alumni. Hello, dude. You're wearing a bandana and you have a ship picture background.
I have.
You've gone up in my estimation enormously.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
look
Favourite already?
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I've got to pick a favourite. Don't get me wrong. Liam's background at the moment with, I think, what is a charging elephant is quite extraordinary and beautiful. But I'm really, the bandana does it. I'm not gonna lie. I have a prop for later. I have possibly two props for later. If it gets a bit chilly, I've got my beautiful dressing gown that I made for.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, if you're storytelling, then you've got to be relaxed, and you've got to have your accoutrement, your wear about you, haven't you? And that's exactly what I'm going to have. I like my dressing gown. I like my dressing gown to chill out in and tell good stories. So, here we are. We're live. Oh my days, we're back. Okay. It's been a year since this channel started, which is kind of crazy. Like it's been. I was watching one of the early videos actually in the reruns that were happening, and you can see the leap forwards in technology, not in storytelling because that was always damn good, but certainly in technology. There's music now. There's flashy title sequences in the background, but there's also been an awful lot of drama and intrigue. And one of the people that's been at the centre of that is you, Gabby. My day. It's been a year of playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only involved because I turn up every week. Like Joe and Dan have done all the amazing work on the titles and the music and all that. I just rock up and have a nice time with my friends. But it's been really good. I mean, it's been really deep. We've cried. I've weeped. Pure tears of salty water.
There have been
it's been so deep. Yeah.
Like emotionally difficult moments where we've said goodbye to characters and hello to new ones, when like characters have gone through elements of their backstory that I just you wouldn't have known it was going to start there. You wouldn't have thought that it would come the distance that it has in a year. What would you say have been like your favourite moments of it?
I'm trying to think of light moments. There aren't that many. Our characters are quite.
It's D&D. It's not all light. Come on.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. Watching some of the role play the D&D played the last couple of days, I've been like, oh my gosh, this is like bizarre. They're like laughing and having doing crazy stuff with Bulbasaur, and then we're like, we need to kill 16 people, which I love, which is why I play the most evil character I can in the game. But some of my favourite moments, looking back now, I really love the bits in the school. I love any time Oshie gets to kill someone. I love how all the relationships change and how we actually fall out with each other loads like teenagers do. That's really fun. But I get scared afterwards and I have to text Dan and Evie like, hey, I'm sorry if that came across real mean. And they're like, it's okay. We know who she is now. I'm like, okay, cool. So, it's helping our friendships all round.
Amazing. And you guys, have you been sort of following along for the last year? Have you guys been able to sort of dip in and out when the shows have been broadcast?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of watching throughout the year. I think I started right in the beginning. I watched pretty much every week. And now I kind of dip in and out, but I also being able to watch some replays as well. Like, to be honest, it's just nice to know, you're watching a D&D game, you never know what the story's going to be, but if I need to log on and watch Rob die, then I can. And that's really good to know. If I want to see a death, then I'll just log in. Literally, I'll go like, which one should I pick? Boom, that one. Boom, there's a death. And now he's got a deep South accent. Congratulations. But like in general, like watching it all, it's been so much fun. Like seeing like Evie and Gabby, who I've never played role-playing games with at all or anything like that, seeing them just have a ton of laughs has been, and also the sad bits, but like when you guys are having fun, even in the darker bits, you guys are having fun and creating, and that's always fun to watch. I limit the amount of things. We were talking about Critical Role before we started. I can't even start it at this point because I'm like, there's too much. I watch like one or two, and then I've got our Sabotage the DMs, and then a couple of like people, and that's where I have to limit myself. Otherwise, on top of the games that I'm running myself, I just wouldn't have anything. It
would get out of hand, Liam, and you don't need more hobbies. Liam and I have been both housemates and lovers for many years. And yeah, I can definitely say that you don't need any additional hobbies.
I started whittling over lockdown, people.
You did start whittling. Okay, now I would
more.
Well, no. Well, you're seeing as you brought it up, and it's very pirate themed. If your character is not whittling at some point during the next 2 days, I will be sorely disappointed. Initially, I thought whittling. I mean, I know we've all gone a little stir crazy. I bought a Warhammer model and painted it. That's like the lowest of the low that you could possibly
Slippery
get.
slope there, my friend.
Slippery.
Very
I mean, like, it's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. But I realise that I'm not a person that wants to lean over and paint minuscule things in the semi-darkness of my small house. But Liam, when I came over, you were whittling sticks, is how you put it. It's like, what you've been doing, Liam? He was like, I've been whittling sticks. Have you whittled anything new?
What is whittling? I don't know if I know what it is.
Stripping bits of wood.
All right,
and
Scott,
like carving.
This is a family channel. We don't no.
I'm using the power of Gestus to show.
Yes, mate. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's like carving things out of. Things. So I've made a wizard pencil. They're really easy to do, like a little wizard face on a pencil. I've made a lot of really smooth sticks. That's my forte at the moment, with different levels of smoothness along the stick.
Different levels of smoothness, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm building up to one of those frogs that you can like play with a stick. You know, when you like, when I say working up to, I mean I am nowhere near, but that is
one day.
Goal. Yes, one day.
Oh God, we've gone way off topic. Let's go back to it. Ferg, I know that you tune into the channel relatively frequently, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just stacking up all the bombs, giving people disadvantage as much as I can. So I think I've got like 6,000 points at the moment. So
seriously,
yeah.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, by having said this now, if you're in the chat and you have accrued any points, Ferg is playing today. don't go easy on this man.
I'll remember.
So I was going to say, so obviously it's been really lovely being able to watch the channel and also to sort of grow with people as they began sort of playing D&D. So I know, so Liam, you and I started role playing for the first time together, didn't we? I think we had our friend Dean who ran a Pathfinder game, I want to say.
Oh yes, of course, yeah. So I was thinking about a different game, but you're right, yeah, Pathfinder. It was pirate themed.
It was pirate themed, and I have not ripped off that campaign in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, so I think we started with that, and then I think Ferg and for you, Ferg, and for Rowan, I think I was your first DM, not a very good one, I should add.
You were my
which is kind of mad.
Never forget
Gabby. Yeah. Never forget your first awful DM, which I certainly was. Talking you guys through how to play D&D when I barely know the rules myself is hilarious. So a lot of it was, is it cool? We do it. Which is exactly how this will run as well. And then Gabby, how long were you playing before starting on the channel?
No,
so you've grown out with this out the channel.
The first time I heard it I'd heard of it through like The Simpsons, where they have the gelatinous cube on it, and Family Guy, and then I've heard Liam, when back in the day when we could play live games, you have a group, don't you, that you'd play with, and then I got into Stranger Things, and then when like Rob and Dan started playing, and they were like, we might do a stream version, I was like, let me play. Let me be somewhere else than my home in lockdown. My mind.
And what a tonic for lockdown it's been. Yeah. And so yourself, Scott. So obviously, like Danger Club. Talk to us a little bit about that and about your experience of role playing and what you've been doing in the past.
Yeah, it's weirdly there's a Pathfinder link there too. We play Pathfinder,
And so we started that a few years ago, and lockdown happened, and then we were like, oh, this is the thing, this is really happening. Let's just continue making all the content and do our entire lives through the podcast. We'll go stream as well and do other games. We'll do one shots and we've got a lot of content. We're doing a lot of stuff. There is links to yourselves, gents. Obviously, John, you know Dan, Liam, you know drum. No, you got me instead. I'm an amalgamation of both of them. This is as close you could get to getting either one of them. Squashed them together, and they've puked out me. There's a lovely visual for you. I've been playing
beautiful amalgamation it is too. I mean, chef's kiss to you, sir.
Scholar and a gent. I've been playing role-playing games for like nearly a decade now. I worked out the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, it's quite a long time. D&D and Pathfinder, and then recently a lot. But I've never streamed before. I've never streamed a game before. This is my first time streaming.
Really? Yeah. Oh, I'm so pleased that you're doing this with us. Thank you, man. It's genuinely really lovely to have you. I was checking out I think you guys were streaming your sort of podcast discussion about and catching up about the news and about, I think, was it Dan who was streaming with like one of the people who wrote Pathfinder, for like a charity event?
Yeah, Jason Pullman for Jasper's Game Day. Yeah, that was amazing. A big one. We've got a recurring Jason Pullman theme. Jason Pullman once met Dan at a con and suggested.
Just to check, you mean a convention, not some sort of like illegal activity that Dan goes out and does on constant occasions? Yeah.
Just gonna leave that open for you there.
Oh, okay.
Make your decision. I'm not gonna say either way.
He knows the police are watching. Dan, we're on to you. Sorry, you were saying, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Bowman casually and jokingly suggested that Dan should kill off one of our characters, and ever since we've been looking for a way to wreak our vengeance back upon Jason Bowman. It didn't come around in that charity game, unfortunately, because it had a much higher important purpose. But one day we'll get Jason Bowman, guys. One day.
And where can people find your channel, and where can they find it? Is it listed on Twitch and podcast?
Yeah, Dangerous Wednesday is our chat show. That's tomorrow. I'll be reviewing Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. I'm going to do that.
Really?
I need to do. That's the only thing I'm doing tomorrow. That's on Twitch. Danger Club Podcast on Twitch. And yeah, podcast available where all good podcasts are available.
So have you read the module already?
Yeah.
Is it good?
No, I haven't finished it.
Okay, fine. I'll have to tune in tomorrow to find out.
And also, you kind of need to like rinse your brain a little bit because it's a lot of horror in one go. It's very well written. It's very well presented. It's got cosmic horror, gothic horror, folklore horror, fantasy horror. So like you get into one, you're like, I need to go look at the sunshine for a while because that was a lot of darkness. But yes, I'll be reviewing that live tomorrow.
Fantastic. Well, that's something to look forward to. Now, I'm going to go wildly off topic for 2 seconds. And I'm going to say also as well that we've hit the 10 past point. So if anyone's been joining us at the beginning of the game, we're going to get playing shortly. We'll be chatting about the module in a second or two. But I'm going to go wildly off topic because there are two things that I think are important to mention to people at the moment. One, did anyone see the announcement about the fact that the American government are no longer denying the existence of UFOs? Did anyone see that?
Yep.
I believe I saw your post about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's quite important to me. I'm a bit of a nerd. I'm on a D&D stream. Obviously, I am a nerd. But I grew up in the 90s, and the X-Files was big in my life. And I got very into UFOs. Read all the books by Timothy Good. Some of them were like this thick. And I was like, aliens are out there. I'm convinced of it. And then for such a long time, we have denied, and the US government has denied that UFOs exist. And now they're saying, yeah, they do. And if you go and if there's a CBS, so 60 Minutes did an article on it where they did an interview with loads of former individuals who'd flown planes around basically in the US and had seen on a daily basis machines flying that defy our laws of gravity and propulsion. And the Guardian didn't cover it today. And I was like, eh?
It's really the way they've delivered this news as well. They've just been like, yeah, of course. Like, well, you've literally said forever that there aren't. And they're like, no, yeah, obviously.
Are they about to open up are they about to open up Area 51 as like a museum or something? And
Do you think they've got a promotion exhibit that they've got? They've just got ready. They're like, hey, so we're diversifying. We're gonna sell pot legally, and then the second stage is aliens behind glass. And we're selling the same thing to them. So they think
it's a large world. You just have it's a large world after all. And you're like, oh wow, there's stuff out here. It's
amazing.
Singing.
It really, like, genuinely, I was absolutely floored to see that. And there's an actual, just to this is the last bit that I'll say on it. There is an actual report. So basically, when they signed the coronavirus bill in the US, there was a tiny little bit at the bottom which said, if you sign this bill, you have to release everything you know about aliens. So the bill passed. This is my understanding of it. Again, this is from Reddit, so please don't take me as a news source. Do not cite me in any of this. But this is my understanding of it. So that report is due out. I think it's due out in July, around the 17th, around that sort of date. So keep an eye. So maybe we'll see a little bit more coverage of it around then. But yeah, there are things out there. I would also say, in the sense of responsibility, that there are big rabbit holes and loads of misinformation everywhere, much like I have given, but other people don't. They spout their opinions as if they're fact. Nothing that I have said is necessarily a fact. Go and check it out for yourself. The second thing, before we begin playing some D&D, which is kind of what we're here for, but I was watching it today. Has anyone seen Castlevania, the new series?
I've just started.
I'm not going to do any spoilers. All I'm going to say, if you love D&D, go and watch that series, man. Oh,
it's an amazing show. I love it to pieces.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go on, Flo.
Oh yeah, I've just started watching. I watched like 3 episodes so far, and I was like, yeah, this looks great. It's Warren Ellis, right? So
it's Warren, exactly right. Yeah. Fergus and I are sort of comic-y nerds, and I mean, anything that I think that man writes, I fall softly in love with. But this is grim, dark vampire. Computer game, beautiful. Like, yeah. What do you think of it, Scott?
It shouldn't. It had the Capcom thing attached to it, so I was like, surely not. Surely this isn't going to transfer to like an interesting human-driven narrative when you've got night creatures that look like insects on acid walking around. Surely not. But first 10 minutes of that first episode, I was hooked. I was like, oh, they're actually going full on with human storytelling and actually kind of relatable characters, whilst kind of hell opens up around them. But it was deeply interesting. And yeah, there's lots of gothic and like darkness and ultraviolence in it and what have you. But actually the storytelling and the voice acting, I think, is just so on point. I think it's a wonderful show. I haven't watched any of the 4 seasons.
It doesn't disappoint. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing at the moment. And it's doing everything that you'd hoped and surprising you at every turn. And I just absolute hats off to those guys. I think it's the last series that they're doing of it, but I think they might do spin-offs in different directions.
Yeah. What's Netflix got with this whole thing of like getting a good thing, making sure it's a good thing, creating a good thing, and when it gets to be a good thing, they drop it? What's?
So I've heard that the next series of Stranger Things is actually going to be connected to every show that they've cancelled. So that they've actually been forming one giant meta-narrative, and that's that Stranger Things is the funnel. Again, not fact. Don't trust me on this.
It's Reddit again, isn't it?
It's Reddit again. I spent a lot of time on Reddit. Okay?
The one fact
I will not. It's dangerous out there.
The one fact I did see was that Robert Englund, as in Freddy Krueger, has signed on and is filming in Stranger Things' new series. So there's definitely going to be the guy who played Freddy Krueger in there somewhere.
No, it scares me. No.
I don't think he's playing Freddy Krueger. That is unconfirmed. But I think he's going to be in it, and it's his face.
Yeah, gosh. Okay, let's chat about a little bit of D&D for a sec. So characters. I'm going to start with yourself, Ferg. Can you tell us who you're playing, what their name is, and a little bit of detail about them?
I'm playing a character called Casper Duquesne, who is a golden Aasimar. He's like a socialite from like a kind of quite well-to-do family that do a lot of like trade, and he basically just is a bit of a socialite and goes to like all the right parties, gets sponsored by the right people. He's got he's like got quite a good like presence on the Sending Stone network, and he's got like he's always on his like Facetone page. He's got his Insta ounce. He does a lot of like clip clop videos, and he's even got an OnlyFans account. So he does a lot of like kind of he's a golden guy basically, and he's quite tasty.
Oh,
and
you absolutely kill me.
And basically, one night, one of these parties they went to, he hooked up with this guy called Roku, and didn't know anything about him. Fell madly in love. It was like they had a lot of gin, drank loads of gin, and then the next morning he woke up and Roku wasn't there. Never heard from him again. But he'd been imbued with crazy powers. Turned out Roku was a genie. So and all he left him was a book of spells and a gin bottle, and then he realized that with these new powers he could maybe do some good in the world. So he thought, rather than just being a socialite kind of vapid character, he could like actually, do some good and like make a change in the world. So yeah, that's why he's kind of out and ready for action.
Do we? Without creating a massive side quest, do you need us to go track him down? He might have imbued you with powers, but like someone needs to teach him some manners about ghosting. If you want us, just track him down and just say, "Hey,
that's true."
I know. Yeah, I mean,
let's commandeer a boat from John and then head off to find this damn genie.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? It'd be interesting to see, like, if Casper will ever even meet him again. So. Yeah,
we've only got this 2-shot, Ferg, but I mean,
we could do a little spin-off if you want, John. Like,
all right, I'll call Netflix. We'll get it involved in the next Stranger Things series where they combine it all together. Yep, no worries. Fantastic. And yourself, Scott, who are you playing?
I will be playing Flaptin Clint, an Aarakocra.
One of us is going to turn that accidentally into swearing. We all know you must have chosen that.
I lay these little mines. It is your job to sail upon them. It's probably going to be me. I'm going to probably in the next 30 seconds mispronounce my own character's name. Yes, Clint. You can call him Clint. Clint is a swashbuckler rogue, and was kept as a pet by giant pirates. Or as he calls them, gyrates, and recently won his freedom, almost accidentally and inadvertently, but has been raised by pirates, so is kind of foul-mouthed and coarse, and has developed a healthy love of crackers, or cracker bread, or the giant variation of that, which is just huge, and a massive, angry, burning fear of sharks. Really doesn't like sharks, Clint. It's a strange title, Flaptin. I'll be the first one to admit, but you know what? Maybe he's got an explanation for that. Maybe he hasn't. Who knows?
I truly thought that was his first name.
I did as well. I thought it was his first name.
I call him Flaptin from all time.
There's the hierarchy, There's the skipper, the Flaptin, the lieutenant. There's a whole. I've imagined a whole boat. Like.
The lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Don't Google.
Also, is it? Did you say Flaptin Clit?
No, I did not,
okay.
Gabby. But thank you for
Sorry,
thank you for an opportunity for clarity is always good, especially when that could have come up. No, Flaptin Clint. Clint. I'm just going to enunciate the Clint. Yeah.
Clint.
Clint.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Please talk us through your character.
My character's called Mash. They are a young Tabaxi monk. Their father, who's called Azaria, is like a world famous fighter. And he works a lot in Waterdeep. And Mash is the second youngest of the Tabaxi family. They've got 26 siblings, and it goes. The youngest is Tash, who has this amazing Tash, and then it's Mash, and then it's Dash, and Dash is really quick, and obviously Tash has an amazing Tash, and then Mash just gets beaten up and like mashed up by the other siblings, and his father, Mash's father's always like, "You've got to go out and do something. You need to get a job. You need to go out," and they're just trying to find their way in the world. They've never even tried their abilities as monk. They've kind of done training, but innately have this ability. So this is their first outing, really.
You were describing them as kind of like work experience adventurer.
Yeah. This is like his dad's had to pull some strings to get him on the ship. His dad's had to pull some strings for Mash to get on the ship.
Great, love it.
Did the parents call Mash at birth, therefore for prophesying a lifetime?
We don't know. Maybe like self-fulfilling prophecy. Because
this
Tash
one
did
will
have
get
a
beaten
Tash at birth, but we don't know that as people here. We're not sure of that, because surely they're supposed to be called like bird song and wind rain and stuff, aren't they, Tabaxi? So maybe they really are, but they've been regurgitated through my mouth, Scott, and this is what we're paying.
I hope when we go to sort out that genie, we also meet the cat person called Wind Rain. Letters, please. I'm looking forward to Wind Rain.
Gabby, what's your dad's name?
Azaria.
Azaria. So they're quite a cool kind. And they're like, Mash, Tash.
Yeah.
I want to not as a adjective, big fighter.
He's had 26 kids. He's obviously running out of ideas. Come on, he's a cat person. They have like 6 in a litter.
That is
names.
Quite a naming task.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. So with yourself, Rowan, talk us through.
I'm playing Shred. She's a water genasi surfer. Essentially, she spent many of her years as a ship's medic, sort of out for hire wherever the wind may take her, and then that work kind of dried up a little bit. She's maybe not the easiest person to have on board, so now she's a lifeguard at the popular tourist beach nearby.
Fantastic. Oh my God. She's not the most easy person to have around. Why is that?
She's maybe just not a particularly attentive medic. Obviously, she's a water genasi, so she's quite solitary. She's got her own things that she'd rather be doing, and sometimes she's just doing them, which isn't ideal.
Love it. Okay, so Liam, I'm going to ask you to introduce your character. I have a number of feelings about this character.
Okay.
But you begin.
I'd like to start by saying this character is not just mine; it's everyone's. Because the way it got created was I was on the Saboteurs Twitch stream that the Sabotage DM has, and we crowdsourced a character as the episode. So everyone got to choose everything. I was only allowed like one veto throughout the whole process, and as such, I am playing ex-Sergeant Shell Gibson, the wild magic barbarian turtle, with a war yo-yo as their main weapon.
Nice.
And also through crowdsourcing today, we'll have some kind of surfer dude-esque slang to their voice, because I wasn't sure how they would sound. But Shell was a sergeant in the City Watch of Waterdeep for many, many years, very much by the book, got everything done, but good-hearted. But unfortunately, due to reasons out of their control, were shafted from the watch, and is now kind of roaming, looking for some sort of redemption, I would say. But massive turtle man.
I mean, what they are is massive in every sense. Like, so this thing's AC is 19.
Yeah. And also that can be increased if I go into my shell.
What?
Yeah, I can't attack, but I have a thing called natural armor.
You freaking serious?
Shell defense.
19?
I can add.
You can add more. I'm sorry, John. I can just add a little bit more to it by going into my shell.
If I go into my shell, I can't do anything at all, but I have an AC of 23.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ, man.
Sometimes I wish I could do that in life. I just
I'd
have spent the last year in that blooming place.
Yeah.
So they have an AC of 19, a speed of 40.
For a turtle as well. Who'd have thought?
I know, for a turtle. and then hit points of 53.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked. I mean, again, this is all someone else is doing. It's not mine.
So I blame the people of this channel. This is your fault, and I'm the one that has to live with this now. how on earth I'm going to have to kick the butt of this thing. I have literally no idea. But not only that, at the beginning of this game, because Liam didn't tell me, he said, "Oh, I'll do the character," and I saw some of it, saw the nice chatty bit, didn't see what the stats were, didn't think I'd ever have to worry about it. And then, of course, when we're creating characters, I get a message from Scott as well, which is just like, "Oh, I might play a Flappy Bird person." That's like, Flappy Bird people are nice. Then, of course, I remember the Flappy Bird people could fly. So I got a fly person, and I got a bloody person who can go into their shell and not be hit by anything. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it, but it's going to be.
And also, someone who shagged a genie. So, like, they're
yeah, detract the here, guys. I think we're glossing over.
Yeah, Casper can also go into his gin bottle as well. You can disappear in and just.
Hold up! No, you're inventing this now, Ferg.
No, it's true.
Aren't you, Ferg? You're upsetting me.
Bottled repose, I think it's called. So yeah.
Brilliant. So everyone either will be flying away or hiding. Leaving just you, Ro, and Gabby to fight the campaign.
Who's becoming the favourite now, John, eh? Because it's not these three, is it?
None of those other three.
Exactly, we're on it.
Right.
Just as we planned.
Sabotage the DM is on the chat going, yeah, sabotage the DM. Woo! Yeah, well, I'd say you try being the DM, but pretty much loads of people have on the channel. So. Right. Should we play some D&D?
Yeah.
There once was a ship that went to sea, and the name of the ship was D&D. Okay, let's go. Joe, can we get a change of music, please? And then I'll start putting on. Oh my god! I just saw the feed of the video there, and it just paused with my face like this. And I've got to say, I've never found myself more attractive. So, Joe, give us a change of music. Let's get some serious. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Empire of the Seas. We begin low down in the leaves and the scuppering animals that are crawling around in the dirt over the course of a forest as we slowly pull up to tree height and begin to emerge as the trees pass us into a clearing. In the clearing, there's a giant river which has been constructed and hundreds of people have been put to work. You can see off in the distance that there have been trees that have been decimated for miles to see. Turning back around into the forest, we can see that there are creatures that are beginning to shore away at the forest and slowly fell the trees. We see one fall down onto the ground, begin to bump, roll and make its way down to a hill where a wizard picks it up and floats it into the air, stripping the bark from it with one swift movement and pushing it over towards another individual who begins to tap away with masterly craft until eventually it becomes a beautifully shorn plank that is then thrown into the river, floated downstream to a team of dwarves who take it and begin to hammer it into the side of an ever-growing ship. We see that ship begin to be quickly constructed as if the months race their way by and slowly it is constructed and two masts raise themselves into the air. We see the sails unfoil and with a push of magic it lands into the ocean. There is an individual who stands on from the side, nodding and smiling to himself. The most beautiful ship of his fleet it is too. And we jump forwards in time, and there he is, stood on its bow as the wind and rain hammer down on either side. They can see in the distance the possibility of seeing land. They hope that they may reach there at any moment, because the thing that they have been promised, the thing that it is in that land, will make that person's fortune. We cut forwards once again. The ship, this time, lies abandoned. Its masts are now strewn across the deck. There are holes in its side. It lists and gurgling noises can be heard. We see a hand appear from below the deck and an individual try to crawl their way out there, emaciated. They've not drunk or eaten for days. They pull themselves towards the edge of the now tattered and ruined ship, and looking out over it, there is an island, calm, but with fires and the sound of drums. We cut forward once more. The ship bobs in the water. Far off in the distance, you hear, "Ship-ho!" but the ship itself that's seen it just goes by. This is a ghost ship. This is a ship that seems cursed. This is the Empire of the Seas. So it get really fun. So we're going to cut to the town of Saltmarsh and into the Wicker Goat Tavern. And there is an individual who has just rocked up and is sat there with a pint. He is a half-orc, sat there in the corner to himself. His name is Verteg. And coming in, who would like to come in through the door first? Can I ask? Which of our characters?
I mean, Mash can.
Mash, okay, Mash. Can I ask you first? We're gonna cut away very quickly. If you can talk us through. Each of you were invited here for a reason. You received an invitation because you were witnessed by our butler, Bertug, doing something particularly heroic. Talk us through what happened. How did you get this invite?
Well, I have a little intro to what happened with Mash. A tall tabaxi with 2 hand axes strapped to his back strides through the street, flanked by 3 smaller, rambunctious tabaxis. The 3 younger ones jump and claw at each other, while Azaria, their father, turns and threatens them with both axes. Suddenly, the smallest tabaxi vanishes down a back alley. Mash is held by someone totally covered by shadows. "You have been summoned, young one. A mission of the seas." "Me? Me?" squeaks Mash. Me out of all of them?" "You, young one." Suddenly, Mash is thrown back out onto the street to be greeted by their father, huge fighter hands around their necks. Mash's brother and sister flicks their ears. You disappear again, Mash, and I won't try and find you." Mash is dropped to the floor and stalks their siblings as they run off in front of them, singing, "Mashy goes missing, and won't be found again." That is how Mash got invited to be on the ship. Literally just through contacts from their dads.
There's so much.
I don't know how that feels. It's so classic.
I love it. It is. It's utterly classic. And there is nepotism even in the fantasy world of D&D. So they stride their way into the pub, into the tavern.
I think they walk up to the bar to ask where the person is. Like they're not even sure who they're looking for.
So do you sort of show the invitation that you've been given to the barkeep or the tavern owner?
So I think Mash, after meeting the shadowy person, has something in their pocket. So he just hands it to the bar person. Excuse me, do you know where this person is?
Yep, just over in the corner over there.
Thanks.
They said there'd be 5 of you. You the first?
Well, is there anyone else sat with them?
No, there's just Albrecht's butler over there. The tall one, the half orc. He's a little slow, but he's nice enough.
Yeah, I must be the first then if there's no one else sat with them. Well, okay. Thanks. Do
you want a drink? Obviously, if you're in a tavern, it's polite to. And so we cut back to the entrance to the tavern, and the next of our characters to enter. Who would like to go?
I will.
Berg, talk us through the reason why you were invited here.
So after gaining abilities, Casper Duquesne went onto his networks and put a post out saying "Hero for hire," basically at Golden Guy 24, available for hire for anybody who wants it, and got a message through on a DM on Insta-ounce from this guy Verteg, and was like, "All right, let's go to Saltmarsh."
Perfect. So you entered the tavern. What would you like to do?
So I walk into the tavern, wearing a Alexander Thunder McQueen scarf and perfect AD&D shoes.
Dynamic.
And
these people have definitely done some preparation that I have not done.
Stroll up to the bartender. and ask, is Verteg here?
Yeah, he's just over there. Where did you get your clothes?
Thanks. You know who I am, right?
No.
Golden skin, golden guy, 24. You don't follow me on DruidTube? No.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not on any of the socially things. Sorry.
Okay. Great.
You're a big deal, are you? Right?
Huh?
You're a big deal, are you? Big deal. Pretty wealthy. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could say that. Yeah.
So big bottle and drinks on the table then for you.
Yeah. Do you have champagne?
Do we have champagne? I've got old water I can blow through with a straw.
Oh well, I suppose a beer will do. But yeah,
right. Beers for the table on you, sir. Yes, no problem at all. I'll send it right over. And you can see Verteg there is like he sort of beckons you across and sits you down with the others. And who's the next person to enter?
Shell can come in.
Shell, tell us why you're here.
So we cut back to a recent past in a dark alleyway in Waterdeep, and you see two City Watch humanoid men just standing, kind of pushing around a few kind of underworld kind of people. You know, you see, I did lots of prep for mine. Humans, and they're kind of pushing them around, but then you see them, they take out a load of money, they see another kind of more suited and booted kind of appears and hands them a load of money, and then you see kind of where the street lights were lighting them, suddenly it goes pitch black, and you turn to see this hulking figure just standing in front of the light and kind of looking ominously on. Is like, dudes, you can't do that, dudes. Like, you can't take that. Don't be doing that, okay? And these guys are like, what are you going to do about it, Shell? Yeah? Just shut up and take your cut, all right? And he's like, no, man. No, we don't do it like that. And he just cracks one of them in the heads against the wall, and everyone kind of flees. We then cut to the commissioner's office, as it were, and Shell is being dishonorably discharged from the City Watch. As Shell leaves, you see a massive wad of money on the table of the commissioner, thus insinuating they were always on the take. And Shell walks the streets looking a little bit forlorn, not sure what to do with themselves, until they just see kind of almost like a very recently nailed up sign on a board that just says, looking for heroes for hire, redeem yourself, ? It seems almost too specific, but it says to meet at the Wicker Goat. So Shell's thinking, you know what? There's not much to this. I need this. It's happening. Let's do this. So heads over to the Wicker Goat.
Okay, so as you go to enter the door, you go to push it open, and then you'll find that it's not quite big enough for you to be able to fit in. So the barkeep runs around from behind, doesn't not want to lose customer, and then he undoes two things. The doors open out properly so that you can enter. Oh, so sorry about that, sir. You're here for a drink or a function, or you're here for the Druid mitzvah?
Really? No, man. I'm here to meet with whoever put this sign up.
Oh, right. Oh, Jesus, everyone's here for Verteg. Yeah, they're all just over there.
All right. And he just kind of ambles over. There's not much pluck left in him. He's just kind of walks over and like kind of plonks down at the table, and he just sits quite quietly.
So Verteg just leans over and he goes, anybody got any questions? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so we cut to the front of the tavern again, and who is it that we have next?
I'll go.
Great.
So prior to this, we see a huge galleon cutting through the waves not too far from here. And like, it's absurdly large, like joke large. You realize that the people coming out on board and scrambling up the rigging, pointing across the waves and wielding huge weapons are in fact giants. And yes, this is a giant pirate ship filled with giant pirates. But lo and behold, they are being boarded by a large flotilla of ordinary-sized galleons and cutters. and the heroes, led by Robinson Crouton, are boarding the giant pirate ship and slowly putting them to the sword bit by bit. There is a huge epic battle, and the soggy codger is slowly just drawn to a still in the waters. Captain Crackbeard, with an Aarakocra on his shoulder, is in a life or death battle. Locked, his ship goes up in flames. And one more time, stuffing cracker bread into his Aarakocra pet's mouth. His Aarakocra pet, Flapton Clint. He demands a blessing of luck before going down with the rest of his crew. And as the soggy codger goes up in flames, and the giant pirate Crackbeard tumbles to the depths, the Aarakocra flies off. And screaming something poetic and philosophical along the lines of, "Take that, you fucking shark bastard, yeah!" flaps off towards the shore, and soon has picked up an invitation, being the only one seen left alive at the wreck of the soggy codger. Must be someone of worth, surely, to be invited to such a thing. Little do they know, they have invited Flapton Clint.
Fantastic. So Flapton, there we go. That's the first time I've had to say that on the stream. Yep, Flapton enters the tavern, has a brief conversation with the barkeep, and then heads over and sits with the others, which leaves our last adventurer to enter.
Hello. Yes, we're going to smash cut open onto a light blue fist, pounding the still cold chest of a human child. There's a weeping woman in a Victorian-style bathing suit for absolutely no reason at all, complete with swim hat. And then for the final time, the blue fist comes down and pounds, and the child gasps, spitting out water. And the mum's like, "Oh, thank you so much. You've saved my child. You saved her." We see Shred. She stands up, flicks her wet blue hair, goes, "Yeah, no worries, man." Walks off.
Walks off the beach, up the beach.
Halfway through his shift.
Good. All come around. Yes, okay. Well met. Yes, hello. What are we doing here? That is the question. I know an answer to it. Okay, so my name is Verteg, and I work. He's not here at the moment. I'm using my hand to gesture as if he were here, but he's not here at the moment. But the person that I want you to be able to meet is Albrick. He is the man who has asked for all of your assistance over the course of the next probably 8 or 9 days. Is anyone busy over the next 8 or 9 days?
Gail just slowly shakes their head.
Wonderful, then we'll get started. And so you see him pick up the table, and rather than move it out the way, he just throws it across the bar and it smashes into the other side. And the barkeep goes, and you guys all head outside, and he disappears around the back of the tavern. And then he reappears, and he's pulling a little cart, and he's like, "Get on the cart."
Yeah,
the horse
Shred
has died.
Shred's in.
The horse
She's
has
in.
died. It was a cold winter. Let's get going. And so he begins kind of wheeling you all up a dirt path. And as he does, he talks about all of the things that he sees and hears. So he's like, when you go on a road trip with your parents and everyone's so bored they just start reading out the road signs. He's like, tree, another tree, 4 or 5 trees, mushrooms. I ate one of those once. I pooped for 2 days. So you guys continue on this for about sort of 3 or 4 hours. It's quite a long distance, and you're just winding your way up a long sort of coastal cliff path. And then he begins to talk about his employer, who Albrook. Albrook is a very learned man. He's very clever, very brilliant. He's one of the best money-making men in the whole of the world. He once made so much money he didn't know what to do with it, so he just put it on the ground and he walked away from it. And he's brilliant. He's like my favourite person in all of the world. And we live up there in that mansion. And then you look up and there is this tumble down ruined mansion where a once beautiful glass-stained window has clearly fallen out down the cliff and into the ocean. He's like, "It's beautiful, isn't it? I love it so much. It is my house."
As we're in the cart, can Shell pull their arms and legs into their shell so they take up less room because it's quite cramped? So they kind of just go,
"Yep,"
and then just like just a head poking out of a shell, just kind of looking around.
Does anybody have any questions before we meet the master?
Why, if you live somewhere like that, did he throw all his money away?
Oh no, that was just once when he had loads of money. He's got loads of money, but he doesn't have it on him anymore. And that's what you're here for, is to make sure he gets the money that he needs back.
I've got a question. If you had to point out on a map roughly whereabouts that fella left all his money, like just off the top of your head, whereabouts would you say it was?
And he goes, "Oh, let me think for a second."
A hand comes out of Shell's thing with a map just there for him to look at.
Okay, so he takes the map and he goes, let's have a look. I think about here, and he just points to the sea. And he goes, "That big blue bit, that one is all the money's there. I'll let Ulbrich fill you in on the rest. Are there any more questions before we go?" Moving on. And so he kind of picks up pace now, and the cart's like really kind of rocketing along. And Shell, you start to kind of feel like it's juddering around quite a bit. There's a possibility that you might fall out if this guy picks up too much speed. But thankfully, you guys start to reach the top of the cliff, and there's a set of huge wrought iron gates, and he goes to push them open, and both of them fall over, and he just pulls the cart across. He's like, "Security is important," and he brings you in front of the building, and then turns around. He goes, "Okay, if you head on in, if you go up the grand staircase, and then from there into the drawing sitting room. I haven't done any drawing or sitting in there for many years, but that's what I've been told that the drawing sitting room is for. If you go there, and then you will do drawing and sitting with Ulbrich."
Okay, you're not coming with us?
"No, I'm not. I've got to clean the wheels on the cart. They go round and round."
Oh yeah.
They won't go round and round. They don't go round and round if I don't clean them. So I've got to go and clean the wheels.
Classic wheel.
So he takes the car, which has kind of got square wheels from all the mud, disappears off, and leaves you guys outside the front. You've got a couple of seconds if you want to exchange any comments about this beautiful mansion that you've just arrived at.
Why didn't he just ask us all to like come here rather than meet at there and like cart us all up here? I don't understand.
Well, maybe the cart was to like sweeten the deal. I had a pretty good time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Did everyone feeling good about the cart?
No, I thought that was shit, actually. I was trying to gauge what you lot were going to say about it first, and now I know I can say that was truly an awful... I fly around quite a bit, and that reminds me why I do that.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd seen all those trees before, so it wasn't like I learned something new. It was just kind of like everything I'd seen before. Like, he said there was a local, but I didn't get any more local knowledge, you know?
Right. Bad review.
Yeah. 2 stars.
2?
Yeah.
Man.
So you see the door to the mansion comes open ever so slightly. It's like, take your time. Take your time. There's no hurry. There's no hurry at all.
Okay, cool. So, yeah.
You hear like a shadow of someone going up a staircase, and then there's just slightly too long. And you hear, "Really, no, don't take your time. There's not that much time. Please be quick."
Okay.
And you literally, as you open the front door, you just see the tailcoat of like a guy disappear into a room up the top.
Which way are we going?
So traversing up the stairs, you head into the drawing and sitting room. And there, framed, slightly sweaty from having done all of the running up and down the stairs, you can see with a glass of port with no bottom to it that just holds and stares out of the collapsed window towards the sea. "Please, come in. Take a seat. My name is Ulbrich."
Do we draw you now?
I'm sorry?
Do we draw you now?
Oh, I see. Right. Sorry. Has the orc been talking to you about the fact that this is a drawing and sitting
We
room?
could go to sit
Yeah, do you
on the
have-
floor.
Okay. I tell you what.
Yeah.
You will do the sitting bit, and then we'll worry about the drawing bit if there's anything we don't understand. Is that all right?
Great, yeah.
I have. Oh, sorry. No, go on. No,
Can
go
we?
on,
Can we all have a port?
yeah. There's only one. Do you want to try some?
Yeah, and it's got no bottom, so it's empty.
Yeah.
No,
Probably
isn't. There's
port.
no
Oh,
like stem
bottomless.
to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that as well.
As in, there's no. You can't put it down on a table. It'll just roll over.
Okay.
I was
Honestly,
wondering,
like
why
it's-
did he specify it was port if it's
Oh.
got nothing in it anyway?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's like,
Aha! I see you all there.
it's a tube then, isn't it?
Last tube.
Oh dear! I think I meant the word stand. It's a standless glass. It has no
Too late.
stem. There
Too
is no
late
stem. Okay, so he's there without any port in a glass. He's got a bit of an old drain pipe, and he's there. I'm glad that I finally. Yes, you can have as much of this as you like, my dear boy. It's bottomless.
You're all right. You're all right. I
Well,
wouldn't want to
suit
deprive you.
Suit yourself. I have gathered. I'll start again. I have gathered you all here today. Thank you for coming.
Mash whispers to the group, is anybody running out of confidence in this mission?
No talking, please. I'm doing a monologue. This is going to be quite important. You'll want to pay attention. Yes.
We all
Flappy
thrown
bird
our
person.
hands up. I just put my hand up.
Okay. Hold on. Questions at the end. We'll
I'm
do
sorry.
drawings if people don't
I
understand.
wasn't answering a question. I was actually just answering Mash's question.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, yes, Mr. Shell. Shellman. I didn't catch your name before. Yeah, you, yeah. Yes?
Yeah, no, I also have started to lose some faith.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
I'm sure you're wondering why I've gathered you this evening. Well, I was once a rich man, you see. And he walks over to this set of curtains where there's only one curtain and the other is missing. And he stares out, sort of puts his arm up over looks out over the ocean through the window that used to be there. And he says, many years ago, I was one of the most successful entrepreneurs that this coast has ever seen. And with the sun just sort of setting, it starts to glint through his hair, and what looks sort of slightly decrepit and older nowadays starts to become very young and very beautiful. And for a moment, it's as if we have travelled with him as he steps a confident young boot onto new shores scattered all around this land. We can see him making deals in back alleys with merchants. We can see him loading spice onto small frigates, and we can see him signaling to smugglers to be able to get his wares moved around the coast. We see as slowly his wealth and his fortune grows, and it's as if the walls to this tattered, run-down little mansion house have re-established themselves, and it's alive with the sound of a wife, of children, of a life filled with parties and people who live in the local area, of nothing spared of any expense. It's that happy man that stands there. And as he turns to his orc servant and he says, here's the key. I can double everything if I do just one investment with everything I own. A gamble. All in or all out. All I need to do is take everything that I own and I will seal it inside a cask, inside a crate, and I ship it to the merchants. And in return, I will gain twice as much as I have here. People will say that you should split your fortune, that you should choose your investment wisely, but I say that bits of coin are the future. There are miners out there who are mining bits of coin, and it's something that I want in on. And people said, don't risk everything that you have for bits of coin. But you know what? I believe in bits of coin, and we don't know where they've come from or who made them, but I'm going to invest in them. And that's why I'm going to send all of my fortune away in this casket aboard the most beautiful of my ships. We push through the window, through the glass, and there, just below the cliff top, you can see the Emperor of the Seas, the ship that we saw being constructed previously. Albrick's original ship. We see the casket get loaded into a crate which has an A written on the side. And it's taken and it's lowered down into the ship itself, and the ship sets sail and goes out to sea. And then we slowly return back in through the now tumble-down window that used to stand in its finery to see Albrick there, clutching his bottomless pipe. And now it's all gone. All of it gone. I sent my entire fortune out to sea. It ruined me. These last 8-9 years, I've just been living in this tumble-down house, making the best of what I could. And to be frank, I'm destitute. But I have been able to put aside enough money to hire some of the finest adventurers, work experience individuals, and lifeguards that I possibly could. You are the best crack team that I could find. So, my offer is this. The ship, my ship, the Emperor of the Seas, has been found, or witnessed, once again, about two days' travel from here. All I ask is that you go to the ship, find out where the box marked with an A is, and return it to me. I will give you all of the equipment that you need up front, a ship to take you to this ghost ship. I mean, some people have called it a ghost ship. It's not necessarily a ghost ship. The guys who saw it, they wouldn't board it. Okay, full disclosure. He takes quite a large sip of his pipe. He goes, I don't know exactly what happened to it. You could ask me any questions you want, but genuinely, I have no idea. We do know that before it was lost, there was a huge storm, and it wasn't seen from that day till this. But when I heard word of it reappearing, and I knew that it would, I gathered you individuals together, and I made sure that there were provisions available for you, a ship to take you there, and enough money that there are 200 pieces gold up front.
Each.
200 gold pieces. Fine, each. 200 gold pieces each. Fine.
Yeah.
And then when you return the box to me, I will give you 10,000 gold pieces. Between you, not each, between you. Okay? I've got to fix a window here. This has no bottom. I'm drinking out I can't. How do you think I'm going to afford to fix the bottom of my cup? I just give all of you 10,000 gold pieces each. That'd be mental. Right. Okay, so, questions. I'm sure you're wondering why I've gathered you all here. Yes. Lifeguard, go.
It's Shred.
Shred, sorry. Apologies. Albrick.
Yeah, no,
Albrick?
no.
Shred. Albrick.
All bricks. Cool.
Yeah,
Is there like anything else
not
cool that we get? Because it kind of, it seems like we could just find the box and then like just keep the box split.
Did you think I would be that stupid? Did you? I could see why you would think that. But no, actually I was very clever about it. The box cannot be opened by anyone other than me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have to bring the box back and threaten you enough to open it in front of us. That's fair enough. Cool. Good to know.
Would you still be able to give me a reference, though, if that is the case?
A reference? Well, what I would say is if you were to return it, not only would you see fortune abound of 10,000 gold pieces to share between yourselves and 200 gold pieces up front individually each, but you would also gain one hell of a reputation. That's okay? All right, fine. Look, I can see you guys. You're business people, so why don't we make an investment? You return my fortune to me, and I will give you everything that I have just promised you, but I will also give you a deal in my future businesses. You can have 5% to split amongst yourselves. Bearing in mind, I turned over enough in previous years to be able to afford a mansion of this stature.
Yeah, you did put all of your money in a box and send it to sea, though. So I'm worried you might not be
I believe in
a
bits of
great
coin. Lots of people
businessman.
have said that the bits of coin were bad for the environment,
Yeah.
or that they weren't real, and that other treasuries wouldn't recognise. I believe in bits of coin, and I know that they're going to come through.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Shred is echoing my sentiments on it quite exactly there, and I think that that's a nice offer, that last bit. But I'm not going to take this whole Bitcoin ETH. I'm going to Doge this coin. I think I'm just going to Doge it over here, right? I'm not going to get involved with this particular coin. Everything else you said before then, though, that sounded grand. Can I ask?
Could I interest you at all in some of this Ethereum that I have? And he opens the carpet. There's just like shit tons of it comes out of everywhere.
I got some of that before. I had to get a cream for it. It was a nightmare. Went right from a cheap
Yep,
blue.
fair enough.
Never get it off.
I got so much, I just don't know what to do with it. I never thought I would do this many cryptocurrency jokes in my life.
I don't know anymore now.
I just got the Bitcoin one. I've in the last.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know where it came from, but I've been really enjoying it. So it's happening. Does anybody else have any questions? I'm sure you're wondering why I've gathered you here.
No,
Yes.
You covered that. I'm just going to quickly ask if it's one. Is it all right if I try out my English accent rather than my stupid surfer accent, which is my normal accent?
No, it's not okay. It was chosen by the people. I have to. Oh, okay. I tell you what. If you lower your AC, I'll allow you to change accent.
Right, hang on. Like, how are we talking? How much are we having to lower my AC?
I'm not going to. No, the will of the people have spoken in reference to your character. I'm not going to change any of that. If you want to change your accent, mate, of course. Like, feel comfortable. Do what you want.
Rough British accent for a little while.
Yeah, that's great.
Also, I'm just saying, I'm not interested in the money at all. What I am interested in is a job. So I don't know about these guys, but if we do this for you, I would quite like some kind of reputable employment as my reward. And actually, I'll give up my share of the 10 grand if I can get the job, because that's what matters to me most.
I tell you what, I will definitely be looking for a replacement to my current butler, the orc that you met earlier.
Oh.
And just from outside the door, you hear a, "Oh no!"
Sorry, I said reputable. I used to be a sergeant at watch, so head of security, some kind of like private security work.
I will be honest with you. We could do with a head of security, considering everything that's just recently happened.
Telling you not to put it all in a bloody box and then send it off in a ship. That would be kind of like what I would probably.
I mean, they said it was mad, but you know. Who did you hear about Elon Musk? Elon Musk tried these sorts of gambles and it worked for him.
Yeah, you're obviously not Elon Musk, and he just looks at your empty pipe and he's like, "Is that a Tesla car?" I have no way of making it into something else. It's a Tesla. Is that a Tesla? I don't know.
It is not.
It's a Tesla.
What is this? But yeah, look, I'll be happy with the job.
So, by the sounds of it, you are all agreed. You will go out and you will seek my fortune. You will find the crate with the A written on it, and you will bring it back to me. And then we shall all have my... yes, Flappy Bird Man.
Right. My name's Clint. You don't have to keep calling me that, although I see why you
I'll be honest with you. I haven't learnt your names, and I realise that's bad, and I should do so. Clint? Yes, go ahead.
What do we find 2 crates with A's on?
There aren't 2 crates with A's on.
Bullshit. In all of the world out there, you're telling me there's not a single other crate with an A on?
Okay, no, I see what you're saying there, but what I'm saying is that it's aboard the ship, the Emperor of the Seas, and you will be taken to that by my dwarf friends who are on the ship that I have hired for you. So that you have no cause for concern there. Good.
All right, that's pretty watertight. All right, I'll shut up now. Oh, I've got another question. Sorry, it's the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yep. Go for it. Yes. No
Have
problem.
you got any crackers?
Well, they were dinner, and then you see that the orc kind of comes into, and he really sort of takes off one of those little cloches that people present food on. There's just a single cracker. For you, sir, I would give you the clothes off my back, except please do not take the clothes from my back. I require them for warmth.
I think Clint looks at the single cracker, looks back at Albrecht and goes, as if to think, is this his food? And then eats the cracker. Just crunches through it.
A power play, sir. I respect that. So we have reached an accord, have we not?
How big is this crate?
How big is the crate?
Yeah.
One, maybe two of you could carry it, I suppose.
Okay. And it's just filled with bits of coin, basically.
Yeah, it's got all my bits of coin in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
I mean, it's going to be
straightforward
heavy, obviously. It's not going to. You can't just like chuck it on your back and run away.
Right.
But nothing's ever as simple as it seems, is it?
Wow, it's the ominous. That's weirdly ominous.
enough.
The beginning of a conversation like this.
That's hit Shred really hard. She's like sat on the sofa like.
Wonderful. Then, if you were to head down to the waterfront, my orc butler will take you, and then from there you should find your provisions aboard the ship and meet the captain. Thank you so much for taking this dangerous, perilous mission that I would be unable to complete on my own, and bringing me back my fortune and hopefully my sanity. Thank you all. And he goes around and he shakes each of your hands and your arms individually, or wings, or paws, or hands. What do turtles have?
I don't know, like a
flipper,
a claw.
Yeah,
Claw.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, like a claw. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
He shakes all of those individually, and then you guys start to head down, and so you'll find. Let's have a little look, Joe. If you'd like to flip us over to the screen on Roll20, we'll have a little look at the Solar Winter.
Shell softly pats the half-orc on the side and goes, you might want to look for another job. Just to be aware, like, keep your options open, eh?
Yes, Joe goes, oh, it makes me sad. I've worked for the Master for so many years. He will soon be rich again, and I will also be restored to all of my finery and happiness.
That's a very good point, actually. I feel like I've personally invested in your particular story there. Let me be clear about this. If he doesn't give you, we will all murder him if he does not keep you on board.
That's sort of
we'll
very
chat about
kind
it.
of you.
We can chat about it when we're on board, eh? Like, we'll have a talk.
Okay, so
between-
not a done deal then.
I'd say it's
Yeah.
probably like 40% a done deal at this point.
I'd say that was
40%.
65%.
Yeah.
If I could count 65%, that's almost as much as 100%. So brilliant.
Nailed it.
But Bertie, I really feel like if we got to spend more time together, we almost sound the same. So I feel like we could nearly be mates.
I think we could be really good friends.
So-
When you get back?
Yeah, I think you should try and be put in his will, and then we murder him.
Wait.
You're real clever for someone who sounds like me.
Verteg, are you not coming with us?
Oh no, I can't. I've got duties to do. So I gotta make sure the wheels go from being square wheels to round wheels, because we don't like it when they're square wheels. And then after that, I got to go to the tannery, and I got to wee on everything, because otherwise it all stays. People always get surprised when I say that. So if you in a tannery, and then there's a long 40-minute explanation as to what happens in a tannery and how urine can actually be used to soften up leather. I believe I have that right. Yeah.
I think that I speak for everyone on this stream when we say we want to hear that 40 minutes.
I got time.
Yeah.
I mean, the stream's for we, right?
Yes. The 40 minutes passes surprisingly quickly as he enthralls you all with the extraordinary adventures.
I cut
of his
Shell
tannery.
just nodding, like,
Mm.
oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Shred's left. She's just standing out the front. She's fixing the wheels.
You can see stood on top of the ship there is there's a dwarf up there who's like he's checking the sundial and kind of like looking and kind of leaning over and is like gesturing to you guys to get on board.
Yeah, go on.
All right,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, let's do it.
Right, okay. Climbing aboard the ship, he I was going to go Irish, but my Irish accent's terrible and I never keep it for very long.
Just be
We'll
careful
go-
when you choose an accent, John, because it can backfire real quick, as I've learnt.
Oh, okay. All right. In which case, then I will do a surfer dude accent.
Hell yeah.
Oh, guys, yeah, good to see you. Cowabunga, welcome aboard.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
let's
God.
get the ship going. So, I don't think I can do that. I'm not saying.
Hide it.
That's
I don't think I
so
can.
a surfer. That's a surfer on a gap year.
An Etonian surfer.
It's great to see you guys.
Waves I'm gonna catch. Yeah.
Yeah, check out my
Yeah.
loafers.
Lots of people do surfboarding and stuff like that, but I really prefer an SUP board. I like to stand up and go ride the wild waves, like Orlando Bloom when he got all naked with that wood. I thought that
The
was
first time the
bloody
dwarf
marvelous,
is being
wasn't it?
represented like this, and I think this is how it should be from now on. The dwarfs are all bodacious Etonians.
Oh dear God. So the dwarf welcomes you aboard and pulls on the main rigging, gives instructions to the others. You can sort of see around the deck or so there are sort of maybe 15 dwarves slowly working their way across the deck, coiling up the rope, pulling it around. You can see the wheel at the top that begins to be spun, and the ship begins to turn and quickly picks up speed. So the captain comes up to you and he says, "Right, this is his voice now. I'm not doing the attending. We're gonna go close to John's voice because he's going to be talking for a little bit now. So, right. So there's a hold down below. If you guys want to head your way down there, you can place your belongings. The rest of us, we've been employed to steer the ship. We'll make sure that you're fed. So it's going to take about 2 days or so to get there. If you have any questions, I'll do what I can. But go down beneath and get yourselves comfortable. There's a long voyage ahead of us."
Nice.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Oh yeah.
My name is Althorpe. Pleasure to meet you.
Althorpe.
All right, Althorpe.
Nice to meet you. Gosh, you're quite the band of adventurers, aren't you? He wasn't sure who he could afford, but actually, you look like you might get the job done.
It's a lovely ship you have as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly. We've been aboard this ship now for last 18 seasons or so. She travels fast. She's sails beautifully in the water. Even with a lot of cargo sat in the base, you'll find that we keep good times, provided the winds are with us, of course.
Graham, what's her name?
What's this ship's name?
Yeah.
This ship is called the... Oh, God, hold on. My roll 20 just went wrong and I've forgotten the name of the ship.
Roll 20. That's a...
Yeah. We'll call it the roll 20. Oh, okay. Well, if we're going in this direction, in which case then, the roll 20 is a wonderful ship. She looks really good, but if you ever actually have to interact with her, she's a bit finicky and no one can be quite sure how she works. The good old roll 20. Right. If you'd like to place your markers anywhere aboard the roll 20, we'll get ourselves underway, and I'll come back to you shortly. Just to ask, you met the gaffer that gave us the job, yeah, Ulbrich?
Yes, we did.
So you're going aboard to get the box that he's after, yeah?
With the A on, yeah?
Yeah, with the A on it, exactly that.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't come across rude. We'll take you to that ship, but outside of that, if there's any fighting or stuff taking place, we're not interested in taking part in that.
Hang on, sorry, a dwarf that doesn't like to fight?
Yeah.
That is something I have never heard of all my years at the City Watch.
But you'll
If there was
find
a fight, you'd find one right in the centre every time.
Well, not all dwarfs are the same, my dear friend. I'd say that you'll find all of us here are a little different from most. We're not interested in fighting. We love sailing. We love being able to take care of what we can. But when it comes to anything else, that's it's down to you adventurers. Tell you what we are good at, though. Partying. Once we get away from his gaff, we'll make sure that he's out the view of his little spyglass. Then, tomorrow night maybe we'll have a couple of drinks, have a couple of games. How about that?
Sounds good. Just it's not a spyglass. It's just an empty tube that he pretends is a glass.
What?
He can just hold it up.
Serious?
Yeah, it's literally nothing. It's just an empty kind of tube. He just looks through it.
Good God.
We watched him pour port all the way down the bottom of it. It was tragic.
It went all over him, and then it turned out it was just kind of like juice or some kind of like sticky liquid. It wasn't even port. We could smell it straight away. It was like, I don't know, like kind of like grape juice or something. It was weird. Real weird. He's a weird one, that one, isn't he?
Stunned into silence.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We broke him.
John.
So,
Right. We've got 2 days.
Right, let's real time this.
can use for that vamp for 2 days.
We've all worked in immersive theatre. We know how to bounce.
Did you not
sorry
see
about that,
us
guys.
absolutely nailing it by referring to it directly and then laughing? That was
Crushing it.
Oh dear. All I can see is, having rejoined the call, there is just me go like this. I think it stopped working. And then there's a new me. Oh, hello, kitten. No.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh.
Is it Shadow, everyone? I
It's
don't know
Tash.
if you can see
Tash. Hello, Tash.
Tash.
We're not
Tash,
looking up
Tash.
here. We're going to go down. Oh, come on, sir. There we go. Okay. Sorry, let's just
John
things
spoke to us
getting
as tenderly as he spoke to his cat. I'd be really
Shut up, Liam. Great. So, can I give you guys a little bit of time to be able to head downstairs, get yourselves into your quarters, have a little chat with each other, get to know each other a little bit, and we'll then get to party.
Clint just goes to, like, probably shouts quite broadly across to Casper and goes, "Fuck me, you're a good-looking fella, ain't you? Your hair looks like the foamy bits in the sea, and your face looks like it's made out of angels."
Thanks very much. Yeah, it's I mean, I use conditioning.
What's that?
Never mind. It's noble ship. It's from the posh parts of town. I don't know if you've got it. You've had it on the ships that you sailed on before.
You said it was shit, did you say?
No, it's great stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I use a bit of cast prestidigitation just to do a few little sparkles around my face, just to lighten up.
nice.
And then to show his appreciation, Clint unconsciously does like the parrot bobbing dance.
Oh.
Doesn't realize he's doing it.
I'm just looking at a shell from across the ship and seeing that bobbing dance and being like, that's impressive. Impressive, that is.
Just happens every now and then. I don't realize I'm doing it. I work on my legs. My quads are like kegs. It's terrifying. Anyways, you's lot been on a boat before. You sailed.
Not much. I usually like to keep my feet on solid ground, walk the stones and that lot. I mean, I have been on a boat, not going to lie, but it wasn't, well, we could just do it really quick, like quick
Really
show of
quickly.
hands, like what do we
Yeah.
want to do about this cannonball, and then
Yeah.
We'll get quicker at it as long as we
Yeah.
just look out for each other. I reckon.
It's just practice.
Yeah.
Exactly that. It's practice.
I'm not agreeing to that.
Okay,
All
well, should we
right,
take a
well,
vote on
does
whether
everyone
Yeah,
else?
Yeah, should we take a
Yeah.
vote? There you go. That's 2, 3.
I am
Let's go.
abstaining from this
Done.
new democracy you're
That's
founding
all
here,
right.
only
That's
because I
3
feel
to
like
2.
I've got to as a token sort of gesture here.
That's okay.
That is your
That's
right
3.
to do.
So,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well done. You did it right.
But it
Thanks
was
for
still
being
3
so
to 2.
understanding about me trying to be an anarchist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fine. Still 3 to 2 though, so we'll
I,
just...
I
Yeah.
think I think
fine.
I'm just going to do whatever means that I survive.
All right. Well, yeah. Again, we'll
I think
sort of cross
that's
that,
what we're all
cross that
doing, I
bridge when we
think.
come
Yeah.
to it.
we'll vote on the survival thing as it comes up.
Yeah, as and when.
Yeah, but if it's a difference between having an arrow shoved in my eyeball or
Yeah.
moving out the way, I'm not going to wait for someone to tell me, or
All right, well.
whoever the boss is to do that. If that's all right, like with the
Well,
whole
again,
voting
Yeah.
thing.
Well, we'll vote on it. I
We'll vote on
think.
it. We'll vote on it.
But
Oh.
it sounds good provisionally. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Well,
to know.
Thanks for
Mash has
hearing
got our
about
back as well.
Hitch.
Right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hooray!
Oh, did you-
Wonderful.
did
Sorry
you-
about
Did you go? We
You're not
didn't
here.
even
I
know.
did. Oh.
No,
Fine.
we love you, John.
I'll leave you guys.
Never
Leave you
us
guys to
again.
it for the next couple of hours.
Never
Yeah, it's fine.
2 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 2 days. This is what we didn't say actually about Sabotage the DM's 7-week live stream. It's us doing the longest long form improv D&D ever. So actually, there's a hell of an idea for next year. Eating and sleeping on stream in character.
No
Oh,
dice.
No dice, only conversation, no fighting.
Oh, I thought you were saying like an old school, like no dice, man. I ain't doing that. That was
you,
a
I'm going
D&D
surfing.
thing. I was like, Rowan suddenly got all like, no dice.
Ooh, that was good. I liked that.
Good dice roll.
That was the sound of your mic dropping.
Doing some
Boom!
work.
So you find that there are a series of supplies that you've been given. There are 2 light crossbows with 20 bolts each. There are 5 50 coil feet of rope. There are 2 grappling hooks. There are 12 torches. I started mispronouncing everything weirdly, so I'm going to do it here and doing it.
I'm now wondering if there's like a different thing called 12 torches, and there are 2 of them. Is that right? Is that a magical item?
There are 12 torches, and there are 2 wheelers kits for wheeling.
Wheeling.
There are 6 vials of the antitoxin, 2 potions of healing, and 2 sacks, as in I'll put this stuff in. I'll put all of this bits of coin in these sacks and carry it with me. You with me? Yeah, you got it? Great. So you guys can decide how you want to divvy that stuff up between yourselves. The first night passes relatively uneventfully. The seas themselves are quite calm, but the wind is strong, and you all kind of find your sea legs, and it's actually starting to feel like this voyage might be A, fruitful, and B, pretty free of trouble. The next day passes. You meet all of the dwarves individually. They seem like a pretty solid bunch of people.
What are their names?
What are all of their names?
What are their names, John? 15.
There's Happy, Sneezy, Jazz, Frightful, Biscuit, Emissary, Calanthrop, Time Portal, Scaramanga, Bishop, 5 more, Althop, who you've already met, Sanguine, Billy the Kid, Arthur the Gent, and just John, just a guy called John.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't catch the first 10. If you could just go through the first 10 again, so I can get them written down.
You expect me to remember any of those?
No, I think
I'm in deep,
Jen is the only one I need to know.
deep trouble. So yeah, you have conversations with many of these dwarves. They all seem like pretty stand-up people, and they're all really excited because tonight is like a big party night for them in the dwarf calendar, and they're happy to have you aboard for it. And so you can start to see that there are casks of ale being brought up onto deck, and you can see that all the accoutrement, and there's a kind of like quiet sort of like discussions that keep taking place amongst them about who's going to win the games. And then later that night, we see that they've strewed up across the rigging all of these beautiful little candles. And it's made the boat, given the boat this kind of atmosphere, and the ship's cat is sort of prowling their way around. They can feel the energy and the excitement. You want a name of the cat as well?
Yes.
Yes, I could so see. You leaned forward, Scott, and it's like he's going to ask me the name of the bloody cat, isn't he? Shadow, we'll say it's Shadow, who you guys just saw on stream earlier, my cat. There we go. So Shadow's prowling around, trying to find and catch themselves some mice, because they too earn their keep on this ship. And yeah, they can feel that there's an excitement, a bristle of excitement in the air, because everyone has been looking forward to this party. Big one in the dwarf calendar. And so you see Althop, who kind of sidles up to you guys and goes, so the boys have been talking, and they were wondering if you wanted to take part in the games.
Well, I'd be rude not to.
Categorically, 100% yes.
All right. I'll tell you the names, but I won't tell you what the games are. And then you can decide who does what. All right? We got Flight of the Bird. It's a test of agility.
Right.
We've got Grapple of the Kraken. It's a test of strength.
Right.
We've got the drinking and balancing game that you'll never guess what it is. It's a game about drinking and balancing.
Oh.
And we got a storytelling game called Hold the Story on Board. It's a catchy name, isn't it? Hold the story on board.
These are hewn
Might
from
need a
great
workshop.
dwarvish tradition, right?
Yeah, of course they are. Well, they're hewn from our great traditions, which are that we wish that we could fly like birds. We cannot. We have grappled the Kraken. We do drink and balance, and of course we we always know how to pull a good story over the Ardon, you know?
Altrop, can I just ask quickly, how far away from land are we currently?
I would guess about a day and a half's worth of sailing. Probably a bit less than that. Day's worth of sailing.
But you'd say that was over 7 miles.
Did you say that was
right?
over 7 miles?
7.
away?
That's 8 or something, isn't it? That's 9, perhaps
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Easily. What's it to you?
Cheryl just looks in his little book and kind of puts a little tick and goes, I would love to play. We are out of maritime law. Thank you. I have no show in it.
Oh, I see. Oh, you're a by the book man, are you?
I have the book to prove it.
Well then, let me show you this. And he gets out a tome. And it's like, this is the Dwarven drinking tome. And these are all the drinks that I expect you to drink this evening. And it's just like a list of pages and pages and pages worth of drinks. You're my by the book man tonight. So, you guys have a little chat amongst yourselves, decide who's going to take on each of these games, and make sure you decide who's taking the equipment that you've got with you. Don't forget that you've got it, because by the looks of it, you boys are going to need it. And he sort of steps away into the background, and you can hear there's the music kicking off, and everyone's starting to kind of like get themselves up and dancing and together. And they leave you to chat for a moment.
I only remember that there was like a ton of rope, some health, and a little bit of anti-venom or something, like 12 of them.
6 vials of antitoxin.
Antitoxin.
Oh, there was 12 torches, right? 12 torches.
Yes,
Yes.
right.
12.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'll have a torch.
I will need a torch because my eyesight ain't great.
We could probably just all have like at least one each.
Yeah, sounds fair. Sorry, should we just vote on that quick? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For,
All in favour, yeah.
Everyone having a torch each? 3-2, approved.
Yeah.
Everyone
Right.
gets a torch.
Great.
Motion
I
passed.
leave you alone for 2 seconds and you start a
Awesome.
democracy. Jesus Christ.
Great.
Your banana republic doesn't mean anything to me.
It's great. When you've got a democracy with a child and an anarchist, it always works.
Exactly.
Well, I guess we should decide who's doing what of the games there. Now, obviously, from the names, it's quite obvious what I think one of them should be, dispensed as. So, obviously, I think I'll be doing the drinking game. I think that's fairly straightforward. I think that's an obvious. So we'll get that one out the way there.
Yeah.
Being a pirate and all.
Great.
I've never considered myself too agile. Usually strength is my thing, but I'm happy to try something new. Like why play to your strengths is what I say. Why not just have a go at stuff? Why not have a laugh?
Should we vote? Should we just vote or not?
That's a good
playing
idea.
to your
That's a
strengths?
great idea. We should vote on it.
Who votes for playing to your strengths?
That's a real shame, I'm afraid.
It sucks.
Why don't you lot like to win? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Clint looks at Mash with betrayal in his avian eyes, being like, "Why are you voting now? I thought you wasn't doing any of that. Come on. How are you going to sabotage a hierarchy if you get involved in one?"
I mean, thanks a lot for that. I could do Flight of the Birds because I really like eating birds.
Right.
Well, good thing I'm not a bird then.
You've got wings though,
Yeah, wait, what?
So,
and a beak.
you know what?
Move like one, you sound like one. And
does
I bet
every-
you sound like one too.
Does every...
Might be 6.5, but I'm not going to be. Come on.
Hey, listen, 6.5 in Aarakocra years is a grand old age now, so you're not too young to get slapped around with my ineffective wing claw here's. So, listen, is every octopus what has tentacles an octopus? No, I just answered my own question. Never mind.
Usually is.
Yeah.
Actually.
I've not got a very high wisdom score. Right. Well, fair enough. Make your own decisions then. I'll be out here.
Shell just puts a little claw. In all fairness, I should probably try the strength one. It's usually what I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably the strongest out of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right. So what's left? We've got
Storytelling, and you said you were going to do the bird one. You're going to do so storytelling.
So yeah, you've got Flight of the Bird, Grapple of the Kraken, Drinking and Balancing Game, and Haul the Story.
Did they say what kind of strength? What if they meant like an inner strength, like emotional strength, like...
That's true, because if that's the case, then Golden Boy should definitely do that, because I can just... There's ooze of confidence coming out of you.
You look like
I mean,
a self-made
it was
man.
It was called like grappling a kraken, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
but what about inner krakens?
feels
So, inner krakens.
right.
I've got a lot of inner krakens that I've not dealt with.
I don't think I've ever had that. Have you seen someone about it?
Well,
I've seen
I mean,
some
it's hard to
krakens.
get professional help when you haven't got a job, So,
Right, got it.
maybe that's something I'll look at in the future. but
Maybe when we get back, yeah.
I think dwarves are pretty matter of fact when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they were talking about inner demons at this point for a fun drinking game / celebratory event.
Yeah, same.
I'm up for it. I've never wrestled a kraken, and if
that
if I
one's
have to do
gone.
it with fine.
It's storytelling.
Yeah,
Beautiful man.
You could be storyteller, story boy.
Could do like,
You tell the whole story with just your eyes.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, actually, that's true.
Thank you very much.
You could just stand there for like a minute and a half and no one would say a word.
Great. All right, let's do that.
That's it.
You actually going to stand and just stare at them for like 2
Yeah.
minutes? I think that's a great idea.
That's
I mean-
contemporary as fuck. I love it.
I know a few poses. I've been a model in my past. I've been a model. So
Are you all right sitting this one out though?
What, me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll need a judge or something, probably.
Oh, if you could be a judge, that would help
Yeah.
us know.
Or like a lifeguard, I'm sure, if you're like battling a kraken and stuff.
God.
That's true.
Unless.
Unless.
And then Clint looks around. You take the drinking game, and I'll go around making sure I fix all of our games to make sure us lot win.
Sick.
I
Hey,
like
Oh,
it.
wait.
we
Should
are
vote?
at least 7 miles away from water, so yeah, should we vote on that quickly?
Yeah, in favour.
Subtly,
That's
yeah.
great.
3, 2,
Majority.
done.
Majority.
Yeah.
I was a silent majority there. I think that's how that works. I've got no
Yeah.
idea.
I'm pretty sure.
I just love how
Mash is
angry.
not happy. Mash is not happy.
Oh, we've still got to deal with all of this, like, bags of stuff.
These bags of stuff.
If you guys want to take a look at it, we can chat about it in the break if you want.
Okay,
We can
great.
work out who has what, rather so that we're not taking up time on stream.
Cool.
Okay, great. So the festivities are kicked off. Everyone has been drinking an awful lot, and then you start to see the first dwarf goes, bird, 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 bird. And everyone goes, hey! And it's time for Flight of the Bird. One of the dwarfs climbs deftly up the mainsail and then lowers down a single rope, and they pull in the sails and then they lower the crossbeams so that there's just the pole itself and then a rope dangling down. And they go, who will try to best the best of the dwarves at Flight of the Bird?
I think that's me.
And there's a number of sort of like stifled coughs. And some of the dwarves are kind of nudging each other, going like, you got this one in the bag, yeah, not to worry about this one. Right, so rules are as follows. All you have to do is take a running leap and wrap around the main mast as much as you possibly can. Whoever does it the best wins. Most number of times round.
Wait, you just jump at a pole and try and hang on to it.
I didn't say it was a complicated game. I said it was a game.
And you've called it.
Have you
Flight
ever
of the
played
Bird.
Danger Can?
It's what? What do you know birds? Do you know biology? They don't jump at. Never mind.
I think Shell just leans over and goes, so just pick your battles. Okay, we're gonna pick your battles on
This
this
is
one,
my
mate.
line in the sand. I will die on this hill.
Are you sure that's the hill you choose? It's just we've got a few bits to do.
So the next game, we're going to cut to each of the games. We'll do rolls, and then we'll just kind of like cut between them quickly, so that we don't take up too much time. The next one was Grapple the Kraken. You see later on in the evening, someone goes, Kraken, 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 Kraken. Hi! Who will grapple the Kraken?
That would be me.
Right. So I was going to make this an actual like strength grapple off. But to be honest with you, the idea of having to solve someone's emotional problems is just so much sweeter.
Oh no, Shella's got a lot of dark things in their heads.
What the dwarves do is they like, right. Well, you'll have to head down below deck with John, the cry dwarf. And John goes, "It's been a really hard year. I've had a really tough time, and I really need someone to talk to." Also, we just don't want him at the party anymore. He just really brings the mood down. So if you take him downstairs, if you can make this sad little dwarf happy, you win the game. Best of luck. None of us have been able to do it for a year. Drinking and balancing. Who's that?
Hey.
Wonderful. So the tome that you were given earlier on, which is lists all of the drinks, you have to read as many drinks from there whilst balancing on it, balancing on the tome, on top of the mast.
Read it while I'm on it.
Yes, you have to read it, and then they will send you the drink. Okay, so you read it, you yell out the name of the drink that you've read, they will send it up,
Great.
you will drink it, and then read the next drink. And it's whoever doesn't fall off first. It's between you and one of the other dwarves, okay?
Nice, yeah.
Great.
That's fun.
And
It's
then,
just like someone came up with a rule and they were like, we could do that as well. And this. And how about this? They just kept adding rules.
I think
That's
Game by
all the-
committee.
all the
Clint
best
leans
games are made.
to Shell at that point. Goes, see, that's what you get when you rule by democracy. Everyone's got their own point there. That's a fucking nightmare.
And then the final one, which is the whole Astoria board. Who's doing that one? Wonderful. Oh god, this one's horrendous.
Hooray.
So they're going to basically they bring out you see them like lower a rope down one side of the ship, and then they turn the ship to port, and the rope comes round the ship, and then they bring it up to the other side, and they tie it to your legs. And the idea of this is that you'll see in a minute or two. So all of the games are prepared. All of the games are prepared. We're going to cut between them in a second or two. So I'm going to ask you guys. Some of them are competitions. Some of them are to see. So you'll be going up against the dwarf themselves. We're just going to do a simple roll of a d20, and then if it beats the dwarf that you're up against, we'll be adding our skill modifiers. So for Flight of the Bird, we're going to say that this one is going to be a dexterity, I think, probably. Because you're going to try and get your way around the pole as much as possible. Like, feel free to chip in if you want to do it with a different attribute. Then I'm willing to
Dexterity is
listen.
absolutely fine. Yeah. I mean, arguably, I could even use feline agility to.
I thought that you might be pleased with this. So you're going to be going up against the dwarf with that one. For Grapple the Kraken, I think we're going to need to see how that conversation goes, but it's probably going to be a persuasion roll there, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe I could use my strength, like it was insinuated before.
No, do you know what, Liam? Maybe your character's out of their element. Just this once. Just the one time in the campaign. Just give me this one.
That's fair enough. Persuasion, that's nothing. That's a 0. Good.
I tell you what, though, to make it sporting though, what we'll do is if your performance is strong enough in the discussion that we have, we'll role play that one a little bit.
Yeah, I apologise to everyone in advance.
Drinking and balancing. For that one, I think that's going to need to be probably. I think it's going to be balance related, isn't it? So I think it's probably.
Or is it going to be drinking related? Constitution.
You're going up against a dwarf. Let's say Constitution.
Okay. Can I do my best to make good on my promise and make this as unsporting as possible in favour of my allies?
I desperately want you to do so.
I think I've come up with ways to try and do that for most things. Do you want
to save? Do you need their input, or can you do it without their help?
I think most of the things that I do affect the other person, apart from one. I think I might need to grease up Mash.
Okay, have a quick conversation with Mash then. I wasn't actually grease up Mash. I thought that was like a turn of phrase. That's a bit grim as a turn of phrase, but I can see that some people might say it. Yeah.
Now listen here, I just nicked a load of tar from. Now you look like quite a sprightly one, so I'm not sure you'll need it. But just so you know, dip in your paw, hand, maybe your legs in a bit of tar, and then covering it up. That'll make you extra sticky there. They won't see that coming.
Thank you. Hopefully it works nearly as well as claws.
And then at that, Clint just goes, shite, and walks away.
Amazing.
No, but Mash does it. Mash walks through like on all fours, their paws and the tail. Rub their tail in it, and tries to do a thumbs up, but they can't because their hands are so sticky. Their paws are so sticky.
Oh, I thought you meant because they didn't have thumbs.
I mean,
I was like,
do tabaxis have thumbs? That's a big question.
Maybe they're just not opposable. Just
Chat, if you're with us, let us know. I don't know if anyone's monitoring the chat. Unfortunately, I can't get it up on mine without my machine crashing, so I'm not.
That's all right. They're having a different discussion, to be fair. It's all good. They're in their own little thing. They're doing their own thing.
Chilling.
They're having their own chat. It's good. It's nice.
Okay, cool. So let's begin. So the games themselves begin. Everyone on deck becomes quite excited, and they begin with the flight of the bird, the test of agility. So let's get this first roll going. I'm actually going to do this. Yeah, cool. Okay. Can you give us a
Is it just a D20, yeah?
Just give us a D20, but if you add your thing, I'm going to do that mentally for myself. Yeah, so, I mean, I think. 23. Tell me how you do it. Tell me how beautifully this works.
Oh, so Mash backs up, Mash is on all fours, and they, as they're about to go, they back all the way up. You know that cats do, and they move their bum, and then they just run as fast as possible. And as they run, their paw prints are like treacle, whoosh, 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 and then they scramble with their claws and the tar all the way up, and then curl their tail round and do like an aerial trick where, because they know they've got so much further up than the dwarf, they let their body fall and they're just clung on by their tail, so the tail's wrapped around the middle of the pole, and they do like a acrobatic trick.
So you see this dwarf with a 2, even with the modifier roll, we could say how bad this is going to be. So the dwarf literally grabs hold of the rope, swings out over the side of the ship with this huge arc, and all the dwarfs are like, "Grrr!" And then accidentally lets go and falls straight into the water. It was pretty damned bad. And now we cut downstairs to Crapple the Kraken.
That's the only one I've got no idea how to help bribe it, so you're on your own, mate. Like, Clint's got no idea.
Are we just alone in the
We're just alone downstairs, and he's been explaining his problems to you for a good hour now. And he's just like, so it's just a combination of different things. It's like when my wife left, and then I couldn't get drunk anymore, and I couldn't perform at sailing anymore, and I feel like I've got no self-worth.
All right. I've heard you now for near on an hour.
Yeah, near on an hour.
Now, I didn't catch your name throughout this whole process, so I apologise for that. John. Nice to see you again.
I'm the only dwarf I could remember because I share the same name as the DM.
So there you've got that going for you. You've got an omnipotent presence sharing its name with you, John.
Oh yeah.
Now, here we go. This is what I'm thinking. You find yourself not appreciated by you. Now, anyone else could say, they're a shit sailor. Their wife left them. They can't do anything. They probably can't do anything for themselves. They can't get it up anymore. They're a loser. They're done for. But you know what? Now, look, stop the tears. Yeah, because the point is, it doesn't matter what they think, John. All right? It matters what you think about yourself. All right? And I know you've been saying the whole time that you think you're worthless. All right? But the thing is, it's all about perspective, isn't it? I mean, you're still on the ship, aren't you? They haven't fired you. You still got a job. You got gainful employment. I don't even have that, mate. I've literally had to come on this boat because I had nothing going for me. You know what? I had a job. I had friends. And I had a purpose, John.
I had a purpose.
And there's nothing left anymore.
There's nothing left anymore.
And it's just...
Come here! And he leans across to the two. You start kind of holding each other. Can you give me a roll for persuasion?
Sure.
And we will see how wonderfully that has landed.
There you go.
That's pretty high. Do you know what? You did a really nice job, but I think to be honest with you, they're going to consider it a draw, but you've got a friend for life.
In John the sad dwarf.
In John the sad cry dwarf.
Just you see the two of us arm in arm just walk up from below deck and kind of just seeing the festivities. And I say, one thing I know you can do, John, is drink with me. And we go over and we get ourselves a couple of flagons and we just start downing our way through that book.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we cut to the drinking and balancing game. Everyone up on deck's been having a hell of a conversation, getting on it really famously with each other. And now the rigging starts to be climbed and the mast is put back into place. And each of the books is balanced on the end of the rigging itself.
Can I
you
try
go
to
out
like this by getting Shred's opponent drunk beforehand? Is that a possibility?
Oh, we will cut forwards in the evening, and we will go to one of the dwarves' timepiece, because surely I said that. Must have said timepiece. I'm sure that was a dwarf's name. No, of all the 15 names I came up with, I had to come up with another bloody name.
Happy.
Arthur the Gent.
Sentinel.
Oh,
Okay, we'll go with Arthur the Gent. So Arthur the Gent has been going around all evening talking about how they're going to win their game, and they don't believe for a single second that it's possible. That someone as lily-livered and ridiculous as this individual might beat them. And so what have you been doing?
So, but you'll have a drink first, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's you got to toast it off first. Of course, if you're going to win, you'll have a little warm-up. You're not scared of that, are you?
As long as I've been a dwarf, I've been able to drink. Give it here.
And then under his breath, Clint goes, "Fuck me, that was easy. These guys are thirsty." And then just like passes like a keg over. I've been like, didn't even have to roll. There you go.
No, that's drink number one. But his constitution's pretty damn high. So
Clint sees this and goes, I'm going to have to get shit face in order to have to get him shit face in order to make sure Shred wins this. So Clint tries to match him drink for drink.
Okay, so you try to match him drink for drink. Are you turning this into a kind of like a side bet with him and like a competition with him?
Yeah, I'm just trying to ensure that he gets really wasted before he does the challenge.
Okay, give me a roll for persuasion, and we'll see where we end up with it.
And
see
that
how persuaded he is.
This is why you should just have another one, because there once was a cat that went to sea, and I can't remember the next bit. It was a soliloquy.
Perfect. We're going to go with your 15 there. So he's pretty solidly into it. He's singing along with you. He does have a few pints beforehand. So I'm going to do anything that I roll there. I'll do with a disadvantage. I'll give you that. Okay. So great. Let's do the drinking and balancing game then. Mm-hmm. So what was it that you decided, Rowan, that you wanted to do this one on?
I think we were doing Constitution.
Constitution. Yep. Great. I need to.
Should I now regret?
Okay, can you so the first round of drinks goes up. Obviously everyone's going to go for the first at least 2 to 3 rounds. More and more drinks coming up the mast. Everyone's calling out the names, turning the pages, being able to balance, no problem at all. And then we hit the first of the 2. So if I can give you 3, 2, 1, give me a roll.
Oh wait.
Oh Jesus.
Whoa.
Oh my days, that I mean you didn't need the additional luck there, but my days, look at that. I mean, that. Talk us through what happens here.
It's like everyone's leaving. People have like climbed down off the mast, and she's still up there being like, "Bloody Mary, sex on the beach," and like just pounding it. Dwarves are dropping like flies off the mast. The books are flying akimbo, and she could do this all day.
Fantastic. So the dwarf themselves, they're constantly trying to take the next drink, and they slowly start to keel over to one side, and they right themselves slightly, and then they start to drink, and they go over to the other side until eventually, boom, they fall drunk onto the deck, and everyone goes, "Hey!" And you make your way down the mast, you're lifted up by all of the dwarves. Everyone's kind of throwing you in the air.
Yes, she's going to try and stand up and like adopts a surfing pose on top of everyone.
Nice. So thus far we've had 1 win, 1 draw, and another win. So that's 2 wins, 1 draw. Okay, can the dwarves?
I consider it a personal win, though. You know?
And it's a personal win, of course.
It's a personal win for Shell.
And for life.
Right. So for our storytelling game, so the rope that has been tied to your legs, there's not going to be a dwarf that goes up against you for this one. I'm going to ask you to give us a performance roll, and I'm going to ask you to give us. Oh, actually, I haven't think about this. Give us a performance roll, and then can you also give us a constitution roll as well? Because what's going to happen is that they will pull on your legs and drag you underneath the ship keel hauling you through to the other side and ask you to finish your story. So it's a story of two halves.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to ask you to begin a story, and then you'll get keel hauled in the middle of it, pulled up to the other side, and then so we're going to go. You'll do the story normally. We'll do a constitution on the way through, and then a performance at the end. And see whether or not you've swayed that crowd.
There's like no way I can bribe or fix this for you. So can I just, because I got obliterated last time, like I tried to help anyone, so still drunk, can I just go over to Casper and be like, listen, you're fucking beautiful. You're fucking great. You're good. I'm not a bard. I've got no inspiration to give. You're just amazing. You can't fucking fail. You suck. I'm crying, drunk, crying. I'm so pretty.
Thanks, Clint.
And,
just a thumbs up from Shell. Like Shell and John together are just like.
Shred sees the rope going around your ankles and around the ship, and she reaches into a little pouch that she's got, pulls out a little red fold-out jacket, says lifeguard on the back. She's swaying near the edge of the boat, just in case.
Can Mash try and do a stealth check and go and like... Well, I don't actually know if this is a good idea, but I'm fucking going with it. Take one of their claws and slightly undo the rope so it's not as tight.
Yeah, do it.
Guys, don't worry. My patron actually gave me a little gift that might be useful in this. A gift from the deeps. I can breathe underwater.
Amazing.
John dying slowly inside again. Oh, on a sea voyage, you say?
I mean...
The impervious crew continues.
I just discovered it in the bath the other day. I was like, oh, well, what? Oh, I can breathe. That's great. Amazing.
I sneezed underwater and I found I could breathe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, fantastic. So let's begin. If you can give us, if you can tell us, start your story, and then in the middle of it, we'll begin the keel haul.
There once was a merry band of misfits and animal-like creatures, and a golden guy and a blue lady, and they all met each other, ready for a crazy adventure on the high seas. They all seemed to be getting on well, and then met a crazy bunch of dwarves, and they weren't sure whether they'd want to...
Hey! And someone hits a lever, and you begin to be keel-hauled underneath. So,
like,
give us that first roll.
Just swimming, breathing underwater, going, that's great. What was the first one? It was
It's great.
Constitution.
Constitution. Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, with the water breathing in comparison with that, I think you find this is pretty easy for you to deal with. I think they've certainly taken the mollusks off the bottom of the boat recently. They've taken it into shore, and they've kind of, so that it's not a too scratchy base of a boat. So yeah, you'd be pulled under relatively well, and then you re-emerge at the other end. Can you give us your story and then roll for performance when you reach the end?
Can I roll first just to see how I want to end my story?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Performance. Woo!
Oh, it's an 18. That's damn good. Okay, great. Yeah, give us the performance.
So I pop out of the water and then go, and it turns out the dwarves are amazing. And then just as an extra flourish, I'm going to pop out my astral wings and just fly up a little bit, and my eyes glimmer and glow, and I just do a bit of prestidigitation, little halo, and just float back onto the edge of the ship and land down. And
everyone they
take a little bow.
Break out into applause. That was
the new friends.
It's a new friends.
New friends.
You've got them in raptures, I've got to say. So, congratulations! I think you guys were overall the winners there.
Sounds like 4 victories. 4 victories for the team.
That's 3 victories and 1 draw.
4 victories. Good on us,
Thank God it wasn't a genuine grapple contest, because I'd had to have put about a clump of dwarves together to go up against you. So. The day that evening starts to wane, and everyone carries on drinking, and slowly they start to head towards their cabins. And I'm going to ask you guys to head down towards your cabins too. And I'm going to ask yourselves during the break that we're going to have in a second to place yourselves where you are on the map, because As the darkness falls, there's some soft, faint ripples around the edge of the boat. But the boat itself hasn't been moving for some time. Everybody's asleep. They put the anchor down, and there is something in the water. And so we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll find out what that something is. Thank you, guys. See you in a little bit.
See you in a sec.
So break for, what is it? It's 10 minutes, isn't it? I think. Hello, and we're back. So we are back aboard the good ship Roll 20. We had you guys. You've sorted out who's got the equipment. You've distributed that around yourselves, and everyone has basically taken themselves down for the evening, gone downstairs to bed. Apart from, I think, yourself, Shell.
Shell is still up quite happily drinking with John, the depressed dwarf. They really had a moment earlier, and they have since been, just having a bonding session, chatting and working their way through that book, I think is what they've been trying to do.
Beautiful. So they've been slowly working their way through, and hold on, my Roll20's just glitched. There we go. As the night kind of draws ever on, you can sort of see that the sun is slowly going to start coming up shortly. Maybe there's an hour or two left. I think actually just before we move in, there was one thing that was left that was being requested by the chat, and that was Liam, give us a wave. Liam, give us a wave.
Look, I waved for them. Okay, they're baying for blood, and I waved. I'll wave again. My God.
And the chat is exploding in people saying thank you. Love it. Okay, so the two of you are up there. Where are the rest of you guys? What are you guys up to? Have you all go down for the night?
I think Clint's gone to knock on the captain's quarters and just like rapped on it. Be like, excuse me, Captain.
Yes, comes out a slightly dishevelled looking dwarf. He comes to his door initially and doesn't open it. Yes, what's happening?
Right there, I can tell this is your quarters. You got a nice door and you got a nice robe and that. But I was just wondering where, that's the captain's quarters. Where does the flaptin sleep?
The flaptin? What's a flaptin?
Well, you see, now that's like an honorary title, It was bestowed upon me by giant pirates, or gyrates as I say, and you should have one on your boat for luck, and you feed me crackers and shit like that.
Oh, if I was you, I'd get your head down for the night. You could sleep outside the door if that's what you need to do.
You mean like some kind of pet?
No, I don't believe in pets.
All right, fine.
So you bed down there, just outside the captain's cabin. Okay, fantastic. So in the night, you guys, I'm going to start actually with, no, do you know what, we'll start here. So you guys have bedded down for the evening, and there's the soft lapping murmur of the waves breaking against the side of the hull. And the night itself almost seems too still. It seems as if there should be more going on this evening, but perhaps everyone's just a little bit too tired. Until Shell, while you're up top, you're having a conversation with John staring over the side. There's the soft sound of 3 individuals starting to make their way over the edge of the bow. And they're going to start to try and make their move across to you. And I'm going to ask you to roll initiative as we are going to go into one of our first fights.
Oh, shit.
Are we all rolling across the shell?
And we'll do that. And then, okay, I'm just going to clear the turn order quickly.
Ooh, that's a 4. That's not a good one.
Oh, you've already done yours, great.
What? Mine's a 3.
10. Okay.
Fuck
3 of those.
Oof.
It's not gone well, guys.
Oh.
Oh. Dear Lord.
Yikes.
I was back on roll 20. Oh, no, not D100. What am I doing? There we go. 10, 18, 13. Cool. So, you hear these individuals starting to climb the side of the ship. What's the conversation that you're having with John?
So we're talking about the endlessness of the sea, and how sometimes just a single ripple can make all the difference.
Ah, I see. We're going to go.
I haven't made it into the turn order, Mr. DM.
Oh, I thought you'd done. Okay, that's fine.
I did it, but I haven't got a counter in there.
You should find yourself with one down the bottom now.
Thank
I'm
you.
just going to take out some of the people that we don't need in the turn order just yet, and I will be asking you guys to do your turns slightly differently.
Super keen.
Yeah, all good. Mhm. Okay, perfect. We've actually got 2 in here for you. What was the latest roll, Liam?
I did 11, but 4 was my first one. That's the one I should stick with.
4. Gotcha. Great. Okay, so you see these 2 figures start to turn. John, the crying dwarf, just scatters and takes off and immediately goes down below. And the 3 creatures start to sort of lurch their way towards you. They are giant, scaly. They've got like scale armor on their left-hand side. They're carrying swords with them, and you can see that there's the water dripping from their mouths as they start to make their way towards you. We have our first one who moves forwards and goes straight in for an attack. And these guys get 2 wonderful melee attacks. The first is going to be a bite. And that's not going to land. I feel like we're going to have an ongoing issue here. And then with the second one, we're going to go with its spear. We're going to give it that. An attack. Neither of those are going to land. So then
Shell just looks at them and goes, "You look like you could have been family, but we don't bite family."
These guys come in, and he's going to do his first attack. So we're going to go first with a bite, and that's an 18.
Nope.
Nothing's going to hit you, man. And then we're going to go for a spear. 23. Come on. Okay.
So much
now
joy.
we're rolling. Now we're rolling. I'm going to describe this one because it goes, yeah! And tries to plunge its spear towards you with both hands. That's the noise that they make. That's what these
Did not
segments are
see
like.
that noise coming. That was terrifying.
It barely makes that kind of noise.
They're all going to go Kia from now on, and it lands 4 piercing damage on you, sir. And then we have its next one to take its turn. Hold on. And that's going to move. Getting used to the good ship roll 20 again. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. And then the last one is going to come in. It's going to make its maneuver, and I think it's going to go just into here. And it itself is going to go with its bite attack first. Oh, an 18, no joy. It's also going to go, because we've seen it before, with the 2-handed spear. And also misses.
So what you've got is a ton of people just like meleeing all over Shell, and Shell being like, "Guys, can we? Kia! Ow!"
You can hear this small ruckus starting to take place upstairs, so you've taken a little bit of damage there, Liam, haven't you?
I have. I've marked it off.
Okay. So I will say all 3 of them, once you took a little bit of damage, went just very, very softly, very quietly. And then we're going to cut downstairs to, first of all, Flapton. And I'm going to just add in... These guys. There we go. And so there's... You're asleep at this point, aren't you? Are you asleep? Are you awake? Do you sleep with one eye open? Talk me through it.
No, I would have gone to sleep. Yeah, I suppose. Unless any noises woken me up, then Clint would absolutely have like just conked out. He drank a lot.
Really? Oh yeah, that is fair actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So in which case then we're
snore.
gonna give this one as a surprise attack, which will give me somewhat of an advantage. You will wake up to find two either side of you. The first one is going to try and land with its bite. Actually, sorry, we should add into the turn order to see who goes first. So let me just add everyone in. Add to turn. And then if you give us an initiative roll, if you haven't already, that'd be great.
I gave one.
And what is it?
It was 24, and I'm
24.
really proud of it. Yeah, that's why I don't want to re-roll it, because it was really good.
You shouldn't have to. You're definitely going to be above these guys. And I will give them a very quick... That's a 7 and a 9. Fine. 7 and a 9. Great. Okay, so it's you're technically surprised. So you're not going to be able to take a first go on this, but you will get to go afterwards. So the first one that's going to try and land is the bite. Can you tell me what your AC is?
Mine's 16.
16. One does not land, and then it's going to go in for a claw attack. That one does land, and you take 2 slashing damage, so it kind of leans across as it tries to slowly push its claws into your neck. And then the other one goes to take its turn, and it's going to do a claw attack as well. And that is a 20, and that lands. And that's 2 slashing damage, followed by it jabbing underneath, or attempting to jab underneath where you're sleeping. I assumed you were in some sort of bunk rather than on the floor, but
kind of like a hammock. I thought maybe.
But yeah, I had that image in my head. I mean, it's a pirate ship. Why would you not be in a hammock? So yeah, it goes for that little stab underneath, and unfortunately it goes wide. But the noise of it knocks against the side of the hole, and it awakens you.
That awakens me, not being stabbed.
I mean, probably the stabbing as well. You were very drunk.
I was very.
You were very drunk.
It's absolutely fair. So what was the total damage I took?
That would have been, let's have a look. That was a 2 slashing damage. I think that was just the total. That was 2. Right. No, 2, 4 in total.
Cool. Okay, cool. Thanks. Is it my turn?
It is indeed.
That waking up, I think the first attack missed because in my sleep, I'm still really happy about something and I'm doing the bobbing dance. But I get up and I jolt around. Clint jolts around. He's like, and he looks around and seeing these. What do these look like? They're aquatic, like monsters from the deep.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So they're green. They've got 2 legs and 2 green arms with claws on the end, and then they've got like a kind of like a shoulder pad protection with spikes on it.
Clint sees these things and has never seen them before, but in his sleep-addled state, thinks they look exactly like shark bastards and like his age-old enemy, his nemesis, and then kicks back out of the hammock and draws his rapier and is like, "Shark bastards!" Top of his voice. Draws the rapier. The rapier is actually like, it's just a massive rock feather spine that he nicked from something. That's his rapier. And I guess if I try and get out of combat, I'm going to get hacked to pieces, aren't I? I guess so I might have to stay here and try and knock them down. Is there any way I could move? Oh, I can take the disengage.
You can go sideways and try and see if you can get down the stairs. They will take an opportunity attack if you go too far.
But not if I take the disengage action.
Aha! He's in it! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play some TNT. Let's go!
I think that I can do that. The initiative score I got was really good. You can tell I'm really statting this because I know that I can add, as a swashbuckler, I can add my charisma modifier to my initiative, and my charisma modifier is 0. So that was pretty well stat for me there. So I'm taking it everywhere else. I think I might disengage, push against the wall, and roll off and go down those stairs. So am I right by doing this bit here?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, man. I think you've got a little bit more movement in there if you wanted, because
I have, but I'd like to be adjacent to do an attack on this fella. Is that
beautiful?
Possible?
Take it, mate. Take it.
How about you horrible, stinking, evil shark bastards! 15?
15 is, that's going to land. Yep. Tell me the damage.
Ha ha!
Oh, that is pain for this creature. Yeah, perfect. In which case, then it takes a solid 10 damage. With a sneak attack?
If I am by myself, if there's no other enemies in 5 feet of me, no allies in 5 feet of me, and just that one enemy, I think so. That's rakish audacity, right?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Just check.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's an extra 3d6.
Rogues, when they get going, they're destroyers. Oh, okay. So you see this thing go. Tell me what your attack is.
It's just this rock feather that's had most of the feathers stripped away. It's just this big white spine thing. So Clint jumps out of the hammock, rolls down, ducks a swipe, falls down the stairs, gets up, screams "shark bastards," and then just lunges forward archetypally, boink, and just sort of like skewers the thing back from behind.
Amazing. So this thing goes, and you just see green blood come out of its mouth. It is
bleed green as well. They're so horrible.
I would say with all of your screaming as well, you have definitely awoken the rest of the crew. So for none of you guys, it's not going to be a surprise any longer, and we can start to move you into the turn order as well. So let's do that quickly. I'll add you in, and then if you can make your rolls and then add your... That would be great. Okay, cool. So, So the shout has awoken everyone. This guy's almost down. And do you guys... What are your initiative rolls? We've got 6 in there. What have we got from Shred and from Casper? 17. Perfect.
Oh, wait, no. I did one earlier. Hang on.
Mine's just a 4.
Mine was a 3.
No way.
And that was with never mind.
And I'm just going to reorganize the turn order just to make sure that we've actually got it going in the way that we need to now. Perfect. Okay, so it's because of that 24, it's back with you, Flapton Clint. What would you like to do?
Did I not get an attack at all on my go?
Sorry, what I've done is I've reorganized the turn order. Now that we've got everyone in play, I'm just going to go so that we've got the initiatives done correctly. Sorry, because I phased in people around it, it meant that the turn order was off in a wonky place, whereas now we should be all right to play through properly.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna...
Oh, did you not take a 10 at all there, Liam?
No, you just had them all attack me, and that was it.
That's my mistake. That's my mistake. In which case, then we'll go back to Liam, and then we'll begin with the reset of that turn order. Sorry for that.
It's all right. I thought I'd at least get one chance to swipe.
Yeah, of course. You did that. You were technically surprised, but yeah, okay, go for it.
All righty. Well, I'm gonna claw him because I'm gonna claw the dude next to me, like that, like that. Oof.
Yeah. That's not going to land, I'm afraid, my friend.
Nothing. So I will do my second attack for the same person.
Yeah, that one does land.
Shazam. And that don't take the rage because I've realised that I feel like after my conversation with John, I can't find the will to become angry. I've had such a good time and I'm a little bit tipsy, so I've kind of just had a really... And even though I'm surprised, I wish I could get angry, but currently I cannot. So I only do 8 damage.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So yeah, you've knocked that one down. Like he takes the hit, and he's still standing, but he seems dazed for a second or two before we then move on to our next one. So he's going to come in and he's going to sort of attack you back with all of his might, initially with a bite, which does not land. And then he goes in for his spear attack, which did land previously, so he's feeling strong about this. And it's an 18, so sadly does not land. Let's shimmy this one on. Who do we hit next? Where are we? There we go. Okay. So this guy's going to come in. He's going to do the same thing. So we're going to go for a bite first.
Ooh.
And then, yes, one lands. So that's, total of 9 piercing damage that you've taken there. Are you happy to do damage yourself? Or
yes, of course, sir.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you. I can't believe I've landed hits on you, Liam. Like, genuinely, this has made me so happy. Those 2 land. And we move on to our last one. And this guy's also going to come in for a quick bite and also a spear attack, neither of which land. And we are now down back with this guy. So he's going to first shimmy forwards and try to continue pursuing Flaptim Clint and go in for a bite attack with your AC. What was it again?
16.
16. So the first one lands. That's 4 damage. And the second one lands as well, which is 2 damage on top of that. Are you able to put in the damage yourself?
Total of 6, taking me down to 28. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, great. And then we move on to our final section of our turns here. And this is the Sangrid who goes in for another bite attack and a one-handed melee. I don't believe... the second one does land, which is 4 piercing damage. And now we're across to you, Mash, having newly woken up to find that this boat has become overrun.
Mash is going to run to here. Do we get flanking?
Yes, you would do, yeah.
I think cool. Thank you. And then use quarterstaff one-handed. Plow. 20.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
9.
Take 9 bludgeoning damage. I'll take that for you. Perfect.
And then can I do an unarmed monk attack?
You do what, sorry?
An unarmed monk attack?
Yeah, cool.
For 20.
Yeah, that lands.
14.
5 bludgeoning damage. Yes, May. Look at that. Superb. So this guy, he takes both of those hits, and they're big, heavy hits. You can kind of see that he physically starts to double over, and he's in a pretty bad way. In fact, both of these guys are attacking. Okay, so Mash, that's the end of your turn. Yes, nothing else. Great, perfect. We're over with you, Casper. What are you going to leap into the fray and do?
Casper wakes up and then takes off his eye mask as he hears what's going on, and then steps outside the door and sees these two fellas attacking Clint. So he grabs his gin bottle and then sticks it under one arm and then puts out both hands and fires off 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Oh!
So, Eldritch Blast. Let's go the first one. 16.
16. Yep, that's going to hit.
Great. So that's 10 force damage.
10 force damage. Which is your first blast?
It's going to go with the closest one. So that guy.
The closest one. Okay, you've wiped the board with them. So yeah, tell me how it goes.
Amazing. The blast hits him straight in the head. So the head rushes over to the wall on the other side, and the body kind of flails behind.
Oof! Beautiful. They are gone. Your second Eldritch Blast. Where are you going to aim that?
This dude over there. So, kapow. 15.
Yep. 15.
Amazing.
That is going to land like a beaut.
For 1 force damage. Woo! But I get Genie's Wrath.
Okay.
So I'll just pop.
This guy only has 1 hit point left. So
really?
Don't expend too much.
All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, let's say that they are wiped from this plane of existence, and you hear a as it too is deleted. Great. Okay, so now we're going to go. So you guys have gotten rid of everyone that's on this deck, as far as you can see, but you can still hear that there's scuffling taking place upstairs. There are the stairs located just to here and here, if you guys want to step up. And it is now. That's the end of your go, isn't it, Casper?
Yeah, I guess I'll use the time to move up.
Perfect.
I'll use my movement to go up.
Okay, so now it's with you, Shell.
Mm-hmm. So Shell whips out his war yo-yo for a nice big kind of swing, and is going to kind of swing it ahead of himself. They're all quite neatly bunched together, which is quite nice for the war yo-yo.
Indeed.
And that's 24.
Yeah, I think that hits. Yeah.
So that's 12 bludgeoning damage.
12 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah. And I have a second attack.
So which one is that for? What does the 12 bludgeoning damage land on?
So he's swinging it around. So I'm trying to hit all 3 of them.
Okay, cool. That should be fine. Let me do that. The brush. Okay, cool. What's your second attack?
Same thing. The swing. It's going to swing twice, basically.
Right.
That's an 11.
11, that's not going to land, I'm afraid.
So he gets really excited about the first hit, and then he kind of just goes, woo! And just swings it. He's like really excited about that one hit. He's like, yeah!
You have very much enraged these three individuals now, though.
Sure.
They are not happy.
And the irony being, Shell cannot find any rage in themselves right now. They've had too many kidneys today, and they're just like, come on!
So you hear there's some scrabbling from the side of the ship, and then three other individuals pour themselves over the side. And at the bow of the ship, I think it's the bow. No, the bow's the back, isn't it? At the head of the ship, we'll call it that. You see one additional pop over. And it is now, thanks for you, Shell. That's the end of your turn. And we're with Shred.
Yeah, I'm going to hop up onto that. Just bear with me while I'm just going to do this step by step. Okay, cool. I'm going to cast... Are these... Sorry, my music's really loud for me.
Okay.
Delish, thank you.
Yep.
I got it, yeah. How the squares, are they 5 feet or 10?
They should be 5 feet, I believe. I haven't checked specifically with this map, but I believe that's the case.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to cast, Entangle at the squad that's around Shell.
Nice. Okay, perfect. So let's have a look at that. Grasping weeds and vines.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but these look like seaweed. You know, like and with little mermaids' purses and stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to need to make a strength saving throw for these three, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it. Okay, great. Let's do that.
And so would Shell.
I think I need to make one as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, two of them bust out. No
that's
problem.
22.
And one of them does not. So one of those is going to be grappled, and the other two are absolutely fine. And Shell is good as well.
Sweet.
Great. Okay, cool. So then it's going to go with... So we're going to shift across to... is there any... So it just binds them in place, doesn't cause any actual damage when they do so?
No, it's no damage. It just means, they can't... And it's difficult terrain if they do want to move.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. So then I don't believe that you've moved as of yet, Gabby, so we're back with you. Let's have a little dally around.
Is it me?
Have you moved yet? No, you haven't.
Latin.
I did. Yes.
Yeah, Gabby had an attack.
Sorry. Oh, Gabby had the attack, of course. Okay, great. So yes, we are then with you, Flapton Clint.
Can I, with the stairs, they look kind of crowded. Is there any way for me to stab upwards from this part of the deck?
You can go around, so the other stairs, they will lead up and lead you onto that top deck, I believe.
5, 10, 15, 20.
And that doesn't show it hugely clearly, but I think you could.
So if I could pop up like here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I run past Mash and I'm like, I've asked you, mate. There's shark bastards everywhere. I told you. Just like covered in blood and feathers, just like runs like a mad bird up the stairs. Oh yeah. Okay, not that way yet. And then just goes in for an attack on this sharp bastard.
Great. So which one are you going for?
That's the one that Shell's looking at. The one that Shell looks most. You know, the one right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
This one here.
This one there. Yeah. Okay. That one's quite low on HP, just to point out.
Well, I think
John, which one is entangled?
I believe it's this one.
Okay, cool.
Oh, with a 9, I'm afraid that is not going to land, sadly.
I believe I have advantage on the attack because an ally is in...
Yep, you do. Perfect. Great. So in which case then that's a 17. That does land.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Okay, cool. Disregard the last one then.
No, that's absolutely fine. We're getting used to it. Roll 20, rolling its advantage at the same time. Cool. So yeah, the 17 does indeed land.
Ha-ha!
So that's 6 piercing damage. Fantastic. And that's so. Yeah, you take him off the board. And
Back
it was
to the sea with yous.
It was this one you were going for, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So that one disappears and then falls overboard.
Shell just gives a little nod from where in between the gap as it appears, so the person falls overboard, and Shell's like, "Yeah."
and Clint like mad-eyed nods back and goes, "You better start believing in shark bastard tales, lad. You're in one."
Great. Okay, so now is that your turn finished?
Yes.
Yep. Wonderful. Okay, in which case then, so we have this. The first one is going to he's going to do an about turn, and come for your character, Rowan. I'm going to go for a bite attack first. You're at 11. I doubt that's going to land.
No, 13.
No, 13. Perfect. And then they're going to go for a spear attack, which is a 21,
Ow.
which does land and does 9 piercing damage.
Ooh.
Yeah,
No.
ouchies. Yep.
Okay, so this one, having seen Fergus' character burst upstairs, they're going to go in for their attack, and they're going to go for a claws, and then a spear as well. A 6, and the 21 I think is the only one that lands, but it does land 9 piercing damage.
Yeah, okay.
Great, and then I think the other one is going to go in for its attack, probably going for yourself again, Ferg, and it's going to go for a bite and a one-handed spear. And neither of those land by the looks of it.
No.
And you get away scot-free. And we go to our next one, and that's going to go in for an attack on Shell, because it bloomin' hates Shell.
And then lust for life.
And then lust for life, and it goes in, it goes, yeah! And the spear like hits into Shell, and it just goes wide, causing literally no damage. And then now the last one, it's going in with its claws and also with a melee attack, and neither of those I think are going to it's not actually even, it's going to first of all do its movement, step up to there, doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Now across to Mash.
Mash is gonna go up some stairs and come out here. I've got 40 movement, so I'm guessing that's okay.
Great. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool. And then we're going to go for a quarterstaff. 26.
26, that's going to land. Oof, there's
For
that
5.
land. And what's the damage?
Just 5.
5, perfect.
And then an unarmed attack. 8. 13.
8.
12. 13.
12. Yes, mate. Perfect. Okay, so this thing takes the attack, and it's like it's really like knocked a little bit by how hard you've hit it. Good. We then is that the end of your turn? Perfect. We're going to move on to Shell.
Yeah.
Hard.
Oh yeah. So he's gonna swing that yo-yo at these two guys. And Senor Douchebag the second, and smashes it round. 14.
14 is going to hit.
Oh yeah. So that does 9 damage on those two bastards.
9 damage. Perfect.
And then he's going to swing it again. And that's a 9. So again, he swings, hits, and gets overly excited and goes, yeah! For some reason, this is the most emotion that Shell Gibson has ever shown. And it's and I feel like because these sea creatures remind him of himself, he feels like he's beating out those demons, you know? Like he's really coming to terms with it. He wishes John was here to see it.
You can just hear from under a collection of boxes. Great. Can you sorry? Which ones of those were you landing the damage on?
So
that was the two there, wasn't it?
The 2 directly in front of me. So this
two
one
directly in front of you. And what was the damage on those?
Those were 9 damage on each.
9 apiece. So one of them, like it's literally, you can see the green blood start to ooze from the corner. Oh, both of them. You can see the green blood start to ooze from the corner of their mouths. They are weak as you can imagine. Perfect. Casper, it's across with you.
Casper's feeling very surrounded at the moment, so just kind of spins around, sees everyone there, and then does a word of radiance, which is a Constitution save for wait, let me just pop it in the chat because it's It's everyone I choose within 5 feet. So that's all 3 of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that guy, this guy, that guy, and that guy. So they need to do a DC Constitution save.
Constitution save.
That's fail.
Mm-hmm.
That succeeds.
So I think and one of them's gonna pass, the other fails on it.
And there's the third guy as well.
The third guy as well. My apologies.
He succeeds as well.
He succeeds. So 2 successes, 1 failure there.
Okay,
great. So they're going to take 1d6. Which one of those was it that's going to take the 1d6?
It's 8. It rolled already. It'll be whichever one. The first one you rolled.
First one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was an 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go la, which is my word of radiance, and then and then
your word of radiance is
la, just la, and then I'm going to get the hell out of dodge. And I'm going to cast Misty Step. And I'm going to go over here. Boink.
Boink. Perfect. Great. That's the end of your turn, Casper. And we're now with Shred.
Nice. I'm just going to hit the guy who hit me. That's as exciting as it gets, which I think is the one directly in front of me, to the north.
Yep, to the north. Yep, go for it.
Okay, great. I'm going to give it a go with my scimitar.
Oh, sadly that hit does not land.
And that's gonna miss. She's just gonna. Oh, I don't really want to move though, guys, because they'll beat me. Can I still?
Actually, maybe not.
No. Thank you, though.
I'd try. Sadly, not the case.
I know. Thank you.
Okay, so we're back with you, Flapton Clint.
Mm-hmm. Can I? Is Shred? Are you in a bad way? And would that be obvious to me?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
No, they're looking all good.
Well, in that case, I'll just say to this the immediate shock bastard in the adjacent corner to me. So where do we two mortals locked in eternal combat? You've not said a word, you shark bastards! I hate yous. I'd like to.
You hear it go.
That's typical. That is typical of use. The 19.
That lands, mate.
Thank you.
I mean, anything you hit this thing with, it's gonna explode in a bag of blood.
Oh, okay. So you're probably telling me I don't need to roll the sneak attack that I get then.
You probably don't. I think this is the one that you're going for here, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on 1 hit point.
And as it dies, I go, or you could just die.
Love it. That is wiped from the face of this very earth. Fantastic. And that's the end of your turn, or do you have anything else to do?
Could I take a move action up to here?
Yeah,
and just run up like a mad-eyed next to Mash, being like, remember what I said about the hierarchy? No context.
So it now comes across to the Sanguine Priestess, who you can tell that she's slightly different from the others because she is garbed and carries a staff with her that's been beautifully ornately crafted out of debris that they've found lying around that people have been chucking out of ships for centuries. And she is going to use her mass healing word.
No.
On us?
Hooray!
Actually, let me see. Yeah, this
Mass healing word? We can hear you.
Up to 6 creatures of your choice.
No.
So sadly,
still a chance.
not
There's only 4 monsters. They might choose 2 of us.
Okay, and they're going to cast that at level 3. And that will then bring these guys back up in their health, which I am delighted by.
Which one? Priestess?
So she's the one just towards the bow. Sorry, not the bow. The top of the ship. So this one just here, if you can see
the
that.
Titanic bit.
Yeah.
She's the blah 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 blah.
So sorry, I had my character sheet blocking that part, so I did not even know there was someone there.
Yep, that would definitely do it.
Yeah, no, fair dues, fair dues.
Okay, so that's 1d4. Okay, cool. That's a 3. Yeah, cool. Okay, great. So they're getting back a bit of health. And it's going to be the next Sanguines go. You're already, you little beauty, you're already healed up. Smacking it out of the ballpark. Great. Okay, so we've got our first Sanguine. He's going to turn. He's going to go. He hates you, Shell. So he's going in for another bite attack and with a spear as well.
Ooh.
Oh, the bite does land. So you see them kind of like throw their body towards you, and they try to kind of clamber in that little space where your neck is between the shell and land the bite in. It only does 3 piercing damage. Shell's fine.
Oof.
And I don't know why that's gone back to the same princess there. Okay, the princess doesn't need to go again. Don't know why that's back in there. Sorry about that. So actually, I'll go delete that out of the turn order so we don't get that twice. There we go. Okay, so the other Sanguine turns to yourself. Let's have a look. That's going to go across to yourself, Mash, and make its attack, and they're going to come in with a bite.
No.
And also with a spear melee attack. The first one certainly doesn't land. The second one does. That's 6 piercing damage to yourself. And then the other one is going to come in for the attack with Shred. And it's going to go for a claws attack and a one-handed melee. First one certainly lands. Second one doesn't. They are hitting heavy today. And they really don't want you guys to be on the ship any longer. Like,
I'm getting that.
They made that very clear.
Feeling
Yeah.
careful.
Like they could have just said.
I think they've got an actively working democracy.
That's the thing. That's why they invaded the ship.
Times, and I thought those guys know what they're doing.
They hate a democracy. It's one of the things they hate the most. They're all about sharing and about people having the things that they want, not about whatever jumped up style of democracy it is that you've put into action. The very last one is going to take its turn, and it's going to go after. It's going to go after Flapton Clint, I think.
Come at me.
Yeah, it's seen you destroy the one that you just did, and it's going to come in now and see if it can destroy you. With an 11 and a 12, I don't think it's going to land.
I'm just parrying the blows aside. Ting, ting. It's 'cause you say Kia before you go in for an attack. That's why I know where you're going to go in for. Short bastards.
Okay, it's now with yourself, Mash.
Mash is going to go in for a... Can I do a 2-handed quarterstaff?
Yeah, go for it.
But then can I do a monk unarmed straight afterwards, or do I have to do one-armed and then the thing?
I think... I don't know. That is an excellent question.
I'm going to play it safe and go one-handed.
Okay.
16?
Okay. So the 16, yes, that would hit.
For 9?
For 9, 9. Okay, so you've gone for, which one was it? Was it this one?
The one just that I went for before, right in front of me.
Right in front of you, this one here, yeah?
Yeah, never eat. To the east.
To the east! That knocks it down quite significantly, so it takes that blow and it's like, it's knocked for 6. Or for 9 in this case.
And then I'll do my monk unarmed. 23.
Oh,
for
brutal. 10. For 10, yes, mate. Okay. I mean, you just wiped it clean off the face of the earth. So, yeah, if you want to talk us through its destruction, go for it.
So Mash, obviously never really using these abilities before outside of a training field, and being a lot smaller than this sanguine being, swings the staff round just as hard as they can, and like the jaw goes one side, and then as the jaw goes, they punch it with the other side, and so it goes boom, boom, and then it just like pops off. His own head pops off, and then rolls off the ship, and then its body follows because like the sinews of it like drag it off. I'm guessing. I don't know if that can really happen, but I'm assuming.
Do you know what? You're the one who wiped it off the face of the planet, so yeah, that's absolutely fine with me. I love this image of the head flying off, and then the sort of like the rest of the body being dragged like a fish.
Like a slinky.
Yeah. Like a slinky down the stairs. You had some dark toys. Oh my days, that is utterly hilarious. Fantastic. Man. And that's everything for your go?
Yeah, well, Mash screams hierarchy in Flatman's face. Not knowing, like, they don't know what is going on. I'm just happy to be here, to be honest.
Okay, so it's now onto yourself, Shell.
All right, so that guy biting me that's taken me over the edge. I was feeling serene, I was feeling all right, but I feel a real freaking rage boiling up inside of me, and I just kind of let out this guttural kind of like because he's literally biting my neck, man. Like, that's not okay, you know. I just had a yo-yo and I was just swinging my yo-yo, so I go into my rage now. Because I'm a wild magic barbarian, that means I have to roll for the wild surge. So something crazy might happen.
Please, we were playing this, I think, with a friend of ours, and didn't they turn into a plant?
Plant, yeah.
Yeah, they did, which was amazing.
Mine's only got 8 possibilities, so I've got to roll a d8, and then I can tell you what happens.
I'm going to give this a minor drum roll.
Here we go. So, I got a 2.
It's a 2! But what does that mean?
You teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
Wow.
What? That's amazing.
Okay, so I've turned into rage, and what happens is I suddenly appear next to that priestess.
Yes, mate.
And I'm like, fuck you!
That's some beautiful wild surge magic coming through with the alchemy next to it of having moved your character sheet.
Could you teleport like above her? Because wouldn't you come
30 feet in the air?
Your shell?
So is it possible to be above and then just to land for bludgeoning damage, John?
I prefer that you land and take an action and try and kick this priestess's ass.
Right. Okay. Well, then I haven't got time to take out my war yo-yo. I'm in a rage. I'm just going straight with my claws. So I attack 12.
Nice. Okay, so 12 won't land, I'm afraid. Let me just check actually for her. Hold on. I'm pretty sure she'll have the same stats as the others, if not slightly higher. It's exactly the same stats. So yeah, doesn't land, I'm afraid.
Okay, and I go again with a 13.
13 does land.
All right, so I get close and I then slash her for 9 slashing damage.
9 slashing damage.
So 9 damage. So it's like a rah, kind of proper. Like, he's been serene up until this point, but Shell has officially lost his absolute shit.
Love it.
And he's also in his head, the back of his head, he's really annoyed because he's nearly killed like 3 people, and then other people have killed him. And he just left. This guy he left behind, he knows was like on his last legs, and someone's just going to blow on him and knock him down. But at the moment, he's focused on this priestess.
Love it. Great. And that's the end of your turn, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, we're over to yourself, Casper.
Having just heard that, I'm really tempted to like shoot the priestess from really far away.
If you want to go for it, mate, go for it. Let's see what happens.
So I might just do that.
If it's within range, have you checked that you've got the range on whatever your attack is?
Okay. Eldritch Blast is like crazy far, so yeah.
Am I going to take damage there?
It's 120 foot for Eldritch Blast, so easy.
It's crazy long. Wow.
And I get 2. So I'm gonna kapow her for 1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that.
Do I have to dodge this because I'm in front of her?
Don't you?
Doesn't
she just get a bonus to AC?
Yeah. So she'd
right,
be in quarter cover, so that may be like an extra 2 on your AC.
I mean, she's definitely in cover. I'm huge.
Yeah. All right, I'll go for this this one here. Sorry. Boink, boink. The one next to Shred, just north of Shred.
Okay.
So,
Just north of the shred. So this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Go for it. Yeah. Yeah, that lands.
Right, and that's 9 force damage.
Mm-hmm.
And
9,
then
yeah.
And then I'm
Takes
just
off.
gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, great! Amazing.
Absolutely gone.
There they go.
Bye. And then I've got a second one, so I'm going to go for this one over here. Who might be. I'm not sure if we've got any hits on them, so here we go again. 13.
13.
Yeah.
Yep, that lands.
Wow. For 7.
For 7 damage?
Yep.
Yep, okay, great. Oof. Yes, that hits pretty hard.
Great. Nice.
Great.
Then, I'm just going to stick where I am, I think.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just do a very quick alteration and say that from the priestess being hit earlier and also hearing one of their other creatures just burst into a bag of blood, you hear this almighty and in pops the Baron.
Oh, hello. Hello, it's a big boy. That's a big boy.
He goes, yeah! And he jumps onto deck and lands and spins around, and there's this huge roar, and you can see it's I want to say like it's not quite its gills, its flappy face bits go. And I'm going to add this one into the turn order now. And we'll just do a very quick roll. That's 13. And we'll find out where that lands in a second. Okay, great. So we're with yourself, Captain Flaptin Clint. There we go. Oh, sorry.
Isn't it me?
Is it you? I might have in reorganising the turn order. I might have lost my position where I was. So yes. So okay. So Casper's just gone. Shred. It is yourself. Sorry. If I do that, absolutely do pick me up on it.
Cool.
His love of the Baron was blinding.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shred's taken some hits here, and she sort of thought we were getting to the end. And then this big boy arrived, so she's going to bring out some big guns, and she's going to cast Tidal Wave on him. So her eyes kind of like cloud over a little bit with, like grey storm clouds, and she like raises her hands, and she's going to fire up and over onto this dude with as much might as she can. So you need to do a dex save.
Dexterity. Let me just do that for you now. It's an 18.
Okay, so you take half.
Half. Okay, perfect. Which would be the what was it? So 7. 7.5.
Yes. Yeah. 7.5.
7.5. We'll call it 8.
Great.
Right. Yeah. So this thing takes a hit. It kind of like glances off of its armor, but you can see that it's also like it's dented and it's pushed that armor into them. So there's a slight sort of struggle for it to breathe going forwards, but it's still up and rocking. Okay. Is there anything else for your turn?
No. Again, if I move, I'm going to get stabbed.
Gotcha. Great. Okay. It's now with you, Flaptin Clint.
Just like almost as if in his worst nightmare, Clint the Flaptin knew that the biggest of all shark bastards would land on this ship. Sees it land and just slowly nods in his eyes now and go, aye, the biggest shark bastard boy. I would like to, this might get quite complex, so I'm going to move over here because the way my powers work, the way my abilities work, I sort of look over at Mash and I'm like, really sorry, it's not your fault, but you're cramping my style. And I'm going to go over here. However, using the bonus action to take the disengage action, right? So I don't trigger.
Nice. Very good.
And then I'm going to attack.
Go for it.
Shark bastard.
So hilariously, I can't really use it, but these guys do have a shark telepathy.
Knew it!
You can magically command any shark within 120 feet of them using limited telepathy. Obviously, there are no sharks around here. We're on a ship, but I just wanted you to know that your inspired thing of shark bastards.
If any of us go overboard, we're screwed because there's some telekinesis sharks around.
Yeah, all the sharks swimming underneath the boat, just going, "Can you hear something? Can you hear something? Can you hear that?" Did a 19 hit?
A 19 did indeed hit. Give me some damage, baby.
Got this, and then I've got another 3d6 of sneak attack damage.
Okay, gosh. So, oh my days.
Just swoop up in the air, and then I just sort of sprawl over and acrobatic land and skewer him. Go, caw, motherfucker.
That is nice.
Oof. That is an absolutely brutal hit of 25. Wow. That is utterly stonking. So this thing, I mean, it sees you fly into the air. It kind of goes as if it's going to take some sort of attack. But you are just too quick. Where does this hit land on it?
I'm just gonna sort of like bounce up and then like drag the edge of my rock spine feather like all the way across its chest in an FC sort of like pattern.
Love it. Okay, so this thing draws across it. It roars with rage, and you start to see above its breastplate. You sort of see that the green blood begins to ooze, and then also from beneath it. And it looks down, and it begins to kind of like its muscles become tense, and it roars back at you. Beautiful work. Loving it. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we're going to go across to the priestess. And let's just get her up. And I think she's probably going to try
and attack herself out of guilt. Yeah.
Self-flagellation.
Yeah. We all saw it coming, John. Just roll that dice.
Mm-hmm. Gonna heal us all.
Yeah, healing word, please.
Okay, so she's going to do some mass healing word quickly just to pull her. What? I mean, that's what she's there for.
Not what we meant.
So she's going to do that quickly. So let's do that once more.
Flats and Clint sort of see that happening and just be like, "Have we got one of those?"
And that's 4 healing for each of them. Perfecto. So that's going to be. You're absolutely fine because you're my king. We'll do that. Great. And then, giving it 4 after it's lost 25 is just, it's pitiful. I love these forces, but sadly they are disappointing me. Great, and they're not going to move. Actually, no, they should move. They should probably come across to here. Perfect, and then it's with the Sanguine Baron, with the Baron himself. He doesn't like you, little Flappy Bird person, and he's going to go in. He gets 3 attacks. So he gets his first with a bite. And that is, it's an 11. It doesn't even land. Dang it. And then he's going to get 1 win with his trident. That's a 24. That does land.
Really quickly, John. When the priestess went away from me, I should have been able to give an attack.
You should. That is entirely true. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, come back to it.
No. Absolutely. Pull me up on that. I'm glad you did. So we'll just finish this and then we'll come back to that if that's all right. And then that was with the claws. That was with the trident, and then this is with the claws, which doesn't land. So you've taken 9 damage over the course of that. We're going to nip back very quickly. Almost a reversal of time takes place.
Just want to uncanny dodge that attack that got me. So halving 9 down to 4, 5.
We'll go 4. So I'm going to try and do the stuff in the player's advantage. So I'll round up when you guys attack me, and I'll round down when they attack like they land on you. Okay, so we're going to go back and take this opportunity attack from Shell.
Yeah.
So absolutely go for it.
Thank you. So I'm just literally going to claw at them as they go. That's a nat 20.
Give us that damage.
So that is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
11 damage. Beautiful. So the priestess. Do you want to talk us through landing that blow a little bit?
Sorry.
Do you want to talk us through landing that blow a little bit?
Yeah,
it's pretty substantial.
Basically, the priestess lets out their kind of to heal, and then literally makes eye contact with Shell, and then kind of just tries to dodge away, and Shell just kind of goes, and just kind of literally just because he's also known as a sentinel, so he has this ability to kind of just react without anything. So he's still facing that way, but he just kind of slices at them and just kind of claws across their neck and their kind of chest area, just like this massive gashes. And it's almost like their momentum does more damage to themselves against his claw. He almost just holds the claw there, and them leaving does all the damage.
Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, that lands. It's a heavy hit. They really, like, you can see them shrink in on themselves. They use their staff to support, so they do manage to make their way across, but by taking a huge amount of damage in doing so. Okay, so we've already done the hit with the Baron, and we are now into this dude, who I think is probably going to go for your Shelf Shred, and they're going to do their classic little bite, followed by a spin. So the first one, that's an absolute
sake.
I love this guy. He has lost no health. He's for me, he's the Shell Gibson of my crew. That's who he is.
You call him your prince, John?
He's my prince.
My
my sweet prince. I mean, the Baron's extraordinary. But... So that's landed, and that's been a heavy hit. The second one, I think that has also landed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's 7 as well.
So what's that? 8. I can't do maths. So 9, 16.
16.
Super cool. Feeling good, guys. Feeling great.
So this one, seeing that you've taken a slightly heavy hit there, this next one is going to simply turn and I think come back towards Mash and try and do a bite. Okay. First one, that bite definitely doesn't land. A 15 with your AC does land. Okay. Meets it, beats it, great. In which case they did that 6 points of piercing damage. But the retaliation is all yours, Mash. What would you like to do?
So is this one? Can I move, or am I engaged with this one now?
You can use a disengage to be able to move away. But yeah, it will try and take an opportunity attack if you try to disappear. But you're also within striking range of the Baron as well.
So obviously, because Mash has only just left the training school, they didn't realise that at level 5 you get an extra attack every time. So I'm going to do on the Baron, like small fry, literally, for the other one, like calamari. Whereas this big fucker, we're going for it. So quarterstaff, one-handed. 15.
Yeah! 15. For the Baron, I think. That doesn't land. Let me just double check. It doesn't land, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry.
So then I'll use my second one. At level 5. 18.
That does land.
Yes. For 8.
8 bludgeoning damage. Absolutely beautiful.
Sorry.
No, go on.
And then I'm going to use a key point to do 2 flurry of blows as my to use flurry of blows to do 2 monk on arms. 22.
Yeah, that lands.
And 25.
Wow.
Wow.
14.
Yeah.
Absolutely flying. 22 points of damage. You guys are absolutely smashing this thing. So
they're going to be like when they finish training.
So yeah, talk us through that hit, because I think that's a heavy hit. I want to hear how she lands it.
The first one, they go low and then even miss the feet, and so they're like got a bit of like they're a bit annoyed and feel a bit embarrassed around their new friends. So then they hit, because it's so big, the big king, and so it hit. Mash hits them across the tummy, and then like pow pow, and it just reminds them. It takes them back to the moments of using the punching bags in the training field. And just the king has the king has the knuckle imprints of Mash in their stomach.
Amazing. So you've dated the breast armor that they've got there, and you can see like the blood that was before, like sort of dripping from either end of it has now become a kind of torrent as this thing goes down to one knee, having barely landed more than a single attack. You guys are absolutely decimating. Beautiful. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah. That's
okay.
All,
great.
Thank you.
We're across with you, Shell.
All right. So Shell is going to take an attack, and then they're going to move a little bit. So the first thing Shell's going to do is they're going to chuck a javelin directly at the priestess with the aim of just slapping them right off the edge of the boat.
Amazing.
18.
18, that lands, mate.
And does 7 damage.
7 damage. Beautiful. Yeah, this priestess, she takes the hit quite hard. She looks back at you and there's a... She's not very happy with you.
Oh, okay. So he's like, okay, that's happened. So he's going to move towards her for his second attack, which will be the claws. Because he was really hoping she'd go overboard. He was like, nothing. And he fucks that claw up. He's in his head. He's like, oh, yeah, the javelin. Then she doesn't go over. And he's like, oh, for fuck. And he goes over to do it. But he's just thinking about how cool that would have looked. And he just saw the monk do some kick-ass moves. And he was like, oh, I'm going to do a javelin. And then he fucked it. So, yeah, he's annoyed at himself. So it's kind of haphazard. And he's only got himself to blame.
Love it. Great. So that's the end of your turn, Shell, and we are now with Casper.
Seeing the big fucker in front of me, I think I'm like slightly lower level. So does the Baron have? Can I see the Baron's testicles?
We're playing the rule of cool here, mate. So that's not cool to do that to a fish Baron. But yeah, you can see him. You can see him.
Okay. So I'm gonna take perfect aim, and then I'm gonna.
He's a Baron, mate. All Barons fight with their balls out. That's the Baron way. I'm sorry for interrupting, Fergus.
I'm going for the Baron's balls, so I'm gonna take careful aim. I'm gonna do 2 Eldritch Blasts out of each hand. One's gonna be for the left ball. One's gonna be for the right ball. So off we go.
I really want you to wipe the Baron off the face of the earth with this. Please do.
All right, here we go. Here's the first one. 10.
Oh, doesn't land.
Okay, so that was the left ball. So we'll go for the right ball now. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, my Baron lives. I mean, I'm delighted, but I'm genuinely sad to have not seen that moment where it crumbles to its knees and then just evaporates.
So my 2 blasts, like they go right up to the balls, and just as they get to the balls, they just hit each other and bounce off, so they completely miss.
Oh.
And you see the Baron kind of turns, and it's like.
And then I go as far. Then I go as far away as I can. So I'm going to go again.
Great, Casper. Is that the end of your go?
That is, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go across to yourself, Shred.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just running away. So I'll disengage.
Yep.
And then I'm just gonna leave. These guys. just backing away.
Love it. Oh. Okay, so and that's the end of your turn. Nothing else to add?
No, I don't have any other. I don't have any fun stuff.
No worries. Okay, we're with yourself then, Flapton Clint. It is time. Are you going to be the one to fell the Baron?
Let us see. My age-old enemy. Shite.
Doesn't land, sadly.
But can I? Is that because I don't think I have 2 attacks at level 5? But can I use a bonus action to attack again, but withdraw the thingy? Is that how that works with the finesse weapon?
I genuinely don't know, so I'm going to wait for a very quick message from Joe.
I think you can attack. You spend a bonus action to attack again, but you can't add the modifier to the roll. I would simply have to roll a d8. I think that's how that works. But
okay, cool. Well, I mean, let's look into it afterwards, but let's go for it this time. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I'll subtract 5 from this if it hits.
Mm-hmm. And that does hit.
Fucking have at you. So if I subtract 5 from that, so that's 4, but that will be a sneak attack.
That is right if it's offhand, says our benevolent DM, Joe Thorpe.
Benevolent DM, I thank you for your blessing. Just fucking have it. Come on.
Oh, my days.
Wow.
You are so close, but it's still standing.
No.
It's still there. My Baron lives. My sweet bally Baron.
His balls have got bigger. He's at that. I think Flatting Clint turns across the mash and goes, hierarchy.
this thing is like it's swaying back and forth, and I think it's deeply concerned, but it seems like it's still got a little extra energy left in it.
Shell is really excited to hear that Flapton is finally getting on board with the hierarchy, and like, did that to strengthen him in his attack.
It's simply the name, not the system, all right?
He's really warm inside. He's just like, I'm finally getting through to that bird. It's great times.
Okay, so this now goes across to the priestess, and she is going to do a...
Don't say it.
Guiding bolt. Aimed at yourself, Shell.
Right.
And we're going to do this.
Anything, do you? It's right there.
Going to do this at a level 3.
Are you? He says under his breath.
Oh my god! Wow.
Whoa.
Doesn't land. Doesn't land. 19. So as in the. Sorry, would it hit for you?
19 is hit meets it hits.
Yeah.
Wow. Quite excited about that.
There's a lot of excitement there, John.
I genuinely, I thought I could never fail you.
Can I point out as well? I have been the least effective fighter in this entire game, and yet you still want me dead more than the monk and the pirate that are destroying people. I can't even kill this one priestess.
to be fair, although you've dealt an awful lot of damage, you've just been doing it in different areas, then moving on.
Yeah, true.
So actually, you've been a very effective fighter. And also, our benevolent Joe Thorpe DM has also said, "'Cause barbarian."
Yeah, fair enough. I was looking at all the different damages that I'm resistant to, and I was like, not radiant. Definitely not radiant.
Okay, so that's 5. Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah.
I'm down to 16, just so we're aware. From 53, I'm down to 16.
Wow.
I am.
Wow.
I cannot begin to tell you how delighted I am by that hit. Okay, great. So that's the end of the priestess's tenor. We go on to the Baron. Oh, Baron, you have so little left in you, but you know who you're going to go for here. Where have you gone? Where are you? Oh, you. Damn you, Ferg, for running away. The Baron doesn't like it when you go after the Baron's balls. He's got 30 feet. Maybe he can make that. Let me check quickly. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this, because I want to know. I think I can.
Okay. Opportunity.
Yeah. Come at me.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Did you? I heard
Why
you
don't
say
you go
that.
after the nice, pretty man there? Go on.
I heard
go
you
for
say
it.
that. You know what?
My friends will look after you.
I can do it, but yeah, as you say, I will take an opportunity attack. But if you hadn't said that,
I'm just.
I would have done it without remembering.
After 12,
I would have done it without remembering. So I'm gonna. I think to be in the sake of fairness, I will shift them. And if your opportunity attack lands,
He's nothing.
I'm nothing.
Not fair.
I'm nothing. And fair. Okay, great.
That's John the
20.
dwarf talking. Don't let John the dwarf talk.
20.
So, opportunity attack.
20.
That's from 2 of you, actually, isn't it? Shit. What was I
Would it
thinking?
trigger from both
Oh,
of us?
it lands! Oh!
I think, did I use my reaction last? I don't think I used my reaction last time, so I think I've got.
Oh!
Do 20.
It's 2 strong attacks. Okay, you guys take down the Baron together. Talk me through it.
He hasn't even rolled damage yet, John.
I don't need him to. He's got 1 bloody hit point.
Oh.
I see the Baron coming for me, and I do a little kissing face at him, just to goad him over, because I can see what's about to happen. I'm just like.
I think as it turns its back, I will nod to Mash and just scissor in underneath it and hamstring it with the rapier, and then place my kneel so that Mash can use my back as a springboard to do the final blow.
And then Mash, as they run up, Flapton screams hierarchy and jumps and then dives down and pushes their quarterstaff into the fleshy bit at the back, at their spine, and they just flop on the floor.
So you hear the Baron goes to scream, and as you guys land those blows, scream turns into a curdling as blood erupts from its mouth and it starts to lean over, and you hear the last two remaining sanguines that were there, two and the priestess. You hear them scream at the top of their lungs, and then they start to flee and throw themselves over the edge of the ship.
Opportunity attack?
Opportunity attack!
Of course you can take your opportunity attacks. If you want to take them and see how far down they go, I think you are entirely welcome to do so. So
I'm definitely going to attack both of those two that are next to me, because those two I have to. I've got to get one kill.
We'll keep with the turn order. So I've gone past them because they're not going to engage any longer. And this first one's going to go out, and then so Mash. What's your? Let's take an opportunity attack from yourself.
Two-handed quarterstaff.
Do it.
Oh, nothing.
Does not land. Clears the deck. Disappears.
They're tired.
Into the briny sea. Okay, great. And then it's now with Shell.
Right.
Who are you going to go for?
Well, they're both going to try and leave, aren't they? So they both produce opportunity attacks from me. I've got 2 attacks.
Which one are you going for first?
Oh, definitely the priestess.
Why would you say that? She's done you no harm.
14.
Priestess. Yeah, that's going to land.
And that is for 13 damage.
Oh, okay. She's gone. Talk us through it.
So I swing my war yo-yo, and as they turn, and I'm just like, not today. And just like smack them over the back of the head, and I can see the life drain out of their eyes as they plummet into the water, like swoosh. And then Shell just turns to the other one, as we all know, John's little prince, and it's just like going for it. I mean, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to kill him, I don't think. But let's go.
It's not going to kill him. My prince will live on.
And he misses.
Ah, my prince! My prince! Yes!
He's too excited by the death of the priestess and he just kind of swings it again. He does it again. He does his woo. Yeah.
So the priestess is gone. This last one, my sweet prince. Not only does he goes to leave. He stands up on the bow of the ship, and he does a little flip as he turns, and you're not quite sure because they don't really have fingers, but it seems as if they're going like that as they go out the ship and they disappear.
Does this one have any distinctive marks or looks or patterns that we would recognise if we ever saw it as like a near end of level sub boss ever again?
It had for some strange reason as it turned and fled, you see that the crest at the top just went gold.
Right. Okay. Golden crest.
It has earned its golden crest.
We'll find you, Prince.
Prince Goldcrest, the shark bastard.
Okay. Very well done, guys. We are out of battle, and you guys are now free of enemies on the ship. And you see the dwarf captain comes running up to you guys. Oh, dear God, we didn't think we'd make it through. Thank you so much.
No,
Clint's just like electrified, like, fucking yes, you fucking shark bastards, come on. And like it's just like bouncing around everybody, and you sort of get the feeling that Clint actually hasn't really faced proper combat before and didn't know if they were going to survive that. Fuck me, I fucking shat my pants, I got stabbed in a hammock, and you were just bouncing around, and you with the spells and the bollocks there.
I go up to the Baron's body and I go, well, I guess it's fish for breakfast.
Hey!
And probably for lunch and dinner as well. But the balls are mine, guys. The balls are mine.
Bear in mind, these balls are probably like this big.
Balls,
perfect.
And they're his, John. They are his.
My balls.
What are you going to do with that? Oh, actually, don't answer the question. I'm going to put
it in my inventory.
What? So when you go next to the ship, you're just going to be like this. They got in. Amazing. So the captain thanks you guys. There's some more ale brought up, and you can see that the sun is now starting to peak once again over the horizon. And the captain turns to you guys. He just says, "All right, why have I gone Irish for a second? All right then. Well, I know you weren't expecting that, but here's the Irish accent. I'm actually secretly an Irishman." So he turns to you guys and he goes, "If you want to go downstairs, get some rest. You guys can sleep it off. We'll be able to steer the ship there for the rest of the day. And by the time we arrive, it will be night, and you will be ready to attack, I would hope."
Yeah, no, Shell's like, I could definitely do with a bit of rest.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling great.
You guys are going to need a long rest.
Attack what? We're just picking up a box, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, it'll be step aboard the ship, aboard the ghost ship. Hello, ghosts. Downstairs, pick up the box and out.
Oh.
Okay, great.
Well, they told you it was a ghost ship, didn't they?
Shell and Shred are literally like, I just can't give a fuck right now. We're just like, could you just let us go down?
She's already like hobbling towards the stairs as this conversation.
They're both like, ghost ship, yeah, great, blah, blah. See you later. Heads off down.
So I'm going to say that all of you guys, you end up downstairs during the daytime, and Shadow the ship's cat comes and helps to figuratively and literally lick your wounds and keep you guys company. And we're going to just take a very brief sort of section just to allow you guys to talk to each other for a moment or two. How did that battle go down? How are you guys feeling now? What do you think about the next section of this journey which will be facing you?
Shell's kind of like sat up in, like, I think what they had to do is push two beds together so that Shell can kind of sit properly, because they're like quite small. They offered him a hammock, it didn't go well, and after like a broken hammock, they kind of just pushed two beds together, and they're kind of just he's sitting there, and you can see he's tired, he's hurt, but he looks over at Mash, and he's not going to talk much, but you just hear him kind of wheeze out, and he goes, "Your dad would be proud of you today." And then just his eyes just slowly close, and you can see some of his limbs just kind of slowly retract into his shell.
Oh, it's adorable.
And his head it's literally just like, night then. Just slowly goes in, and he just leaves Mash with that one little thing before going fully into his shell.
As Shell does that, I think Clint just looks for a while and goes, "Why did they take the bed? They're sleeping in a shell." That's just cheeky.
You say, "I can still hear you from in here, you know that, right?" It's just comfier this way.
I think Clint's still a bit wired, like takes a while to come down from that. It's like, wow, shite, fuck, shark bastards. I didn't think they'd come back. Well, tell you what, that was pretty nifty out there. I didn't think that anybody was going to pull off the stuff that yous people did. That was some serious stuff there.
You got some pretty good moves as well.
Mate.
Pretty nifty with that rapier.
Mate, can I tell you a secret? I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing, start to finish. I think I might have shat my feathers at the start and just continuously. It was all panic and instinct. Where'd you learn them secret pow-pow things with your fingers?
I mean, it was all from that guy I met. It was only a few months ago, so it's all pretty new for me. But yeah, as long as I got my gin bowl next to me, it's kind of the source of all my powers. So yeah, surprising me even.
I think Clint takes that the wrong way and sees the gin bottle and goes, listen, it doesn't have to be the source of all your powers, okay? You are who you are without that, okay? You can, if you wake up in the morning and don't reach for it, that's a good day, all right? Plenty of my mates before have been, oof.
I'm comfortable with it for now. I'm not gonna let it leave my side.
And then knowingly, Clint goes,
So you guys all take a bit of a rest there, and the day stretches out. The sleep that you have is the sleep of the righteous, the sleep of people who have kicked ass that day, and you find yourselves fully healed when you awake that evening, heading up onto deck. The boat has clearly come to a stop, and off in the distance you can see what remains of the Emperor of the Seas. It's a ship that has gone through a huge amount of damage. It's a miracle that this thing is still afloat. And in the sort of darkness of it, you can vaguely make out movement on the top of the ship that then just quickly disappears again. There's a cold chill in the air, and the boat itself sits low in the water. As you stare at it, there's an uneasy feeling that starts to spread amongst the dwarves within the crew. There's an uneasy feeling that spreads amongst each of you. you realise that what may have happened just before, earlier in the day, was only the beginning of what lies ahead in the Emperor of the Seas. Pirate music, pirate music, pirate music, pirate music. Guys, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Thank you so much, every one of you guys, for playing. You have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for those guys in chat as well. Thank you for joining us in this fantastic session. We are going to be back on Thursday evening. Do come and hang out with us then as we enter the Emperor of the Seas and take on some of the terrifying things that are laying in store for you there. Believe me, there's what's been really lovely, I think, about this session is that we've really clearly seen who you guys are as characters, and that you kick some ass when you fight together. So I'm really intrigued to see what it's going to be like when we throw some complete mayhem at you, which is what the next going to be. The next session is going to be, there's going to be a lot of battling. There's going to be a lot of mayhem, and I'm really excited to see what happens. So thank you everyone so much for being with us tonight. We've really loved every second of it. We will be back on Thursday, as I said, 6 till 10. I would also really recommend that you go and check out the other things that are taking place on the channel, both tomorrow and for the rest of the week. There is such a wide variety of things that are taking place. It's not just D&D, lots of different types of games from lots of different backgrounds and different types of battle systems, as well as like music, chats that are going on, art that's being drawn. There's so much here on the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, particularly if you have something like Amazon Prime. You can give us a subscription for free. We really loved having you with us, and thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thanks.